It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast. Featuring
Fillmore's finest, Monte Hill. The pride of the Excelsior, Joe Butcher Boy Shasky. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, the morning roast.
Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. We made it to Friday. Even though there's no Starbucks open around us, we're all searching for some coffee and some hot tea. If you know anybody at a Starbucks, let us know. We need that hot coffee. As I say, good morning to everybody out there getting off their graveyard shifts. If you're at work, what is happening? Cops, firefighters, teachers, students, longshoremen, electricians. I miss anybody, Alan?
I said plumbers. I don't know.
Plumbers work.
Yeah,
ushers,
they're going already.
Security guards.
Airport people.
Airport workers.
There you go.
Yeah. People checking in your bags.
Right.
Putting your bags on the plane. I like that. Shout out to the airports out there grinding on this Friday. And that's not Joe Shasky. That's not Come On Donkey. Pivot Don't Panic. It's Alan Stiles filling in for Joe Shasky the Butcher. The pride of De La Salle. The pride of Tipple Owls. North Philadelphia. He's back in the Bay. And this may be a small T-shirt Friday because it looks like we're both wearing some young T-shirts right now. Schmedium Friday T-shirts. Or maybe I'm just gaining too much weight. I'll just say it's a small T-shirt.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. Yeah. We haven't hit the treadmill as we get into the show Friday. Good morning.
So damn good.
I've stayed away. I didn't even use the coupon for Taco Bell when I went down to a Sharks game. Alan went down to a Sharks game a couple Saturdays ago, and the Sharks scored 4 goals, which meant everybody gets free tacos. I did not use my voucher. I stayed away.
They shut it down. Well, so you could still use it, but you're choosing not to.
I think it expired.
Already?
Yeah, I think it expired.
Wow.
I think I was a day late.
So is it just the basic taco? What if you say, oh, can I get the sour cream? How does that work?
Yeah, it's probably extra.
Yeah.
Probably charge you like $2 extra for it.
Worth it.
It is worth it. That Gordon Crunch does sound good right now. Taco Bell soda good. By the way, good morning to Lubman, Spadoni, man. We're going to have a lot of fun today. A lot of fun. Joe Rose covers the Dolphins, does morning radio down in Miami. He's going to join us at 8 o'clock to talk Fins. And then Laura Britt, 8:30, your host of Giants Pre- and Post-Game Live, will give us some insight into the Giants. And, we left the show yesterday, Alec, because I know you're a baseball guy. What did you play? Shortstop, second base?
Well, I tell people I was I'm left-handed, but, I got
You're a lefty?
Yeah, but I got a second baseman's body. So that's the problem. So they stuck me in the outfield. So I played in the outfield.
Man, I didn't know you were a lefty. I'm a lefty, too.
Yeah. Oh, well,
you
shout
probably
out.
have a stronger arm than me.
It depends on who you ask. I get the ball out quick. That was my whole thing.
I do not. I don't get the ball out at all. I don't even throw the ball. No. So you're a lefty. You know baseball inside and out. You know the ins and outs of it, the nooks and crannies. And we left the show yesterday just discussing Aaron Judge because of the John Morosi report. And I heard you and Spadoni discussing that as well. Our boy Bubba, a.k.a. J.P. Morosi, who is, 50-50 Aaron Judge.
Right.
He's going to decide by the end of the week. And, that got us going on. That got us running hot. Now, whether or not it's 50-50 between the Giants, Yankees, I have no idea. What I do know is that the Giants have to close this deal.
Yeah.
They cannot, for the umpteenth time this decade or in the last 10 years, come up short on another prize free agent.
Right. Well, and the thing is, too, the other situations that we've had, whether it's been Bryce Harper or Shohei Ohtani, whoever it is, it hasn't been put in our face like this. You got Aaron Judge at St. Regis. You got him winking at the camera. You got a reported offer by the Yankees that that the Giants can beat out. So this one would hurt so much. And I know you can talk about, well, what if they get this, that, and the third? I saw yesterday on Twitter, and no disrespect, because this guy actually graduated 08 with me in Hawaii and got drafted now is in the big leagues. If Colton Wong is who we bring in, dude, I'm not. If that's all we do, we got problems. I can't do it. You got to get Aaron Judge. You got to get the big fish because unless he just says, you know what, it's the Yankees brand. That's the only way that this is okay. If he says, look, these guys took a chance on me. They drafted me. We got some unfinished business. Even though we can't beat the Astros to save our lives in the playoffs, we're going to try to do it, and I want to keep going with them. I want to go the Derek Jeter route, be with the same team. But past that, there's no excuses.
No excuses whatsoever. You bring up Colton Wong, and I haven't even wrapped my head around what if the Giants don't sign Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
What's next? I can't even wrap my head around Trey Turner. I can't wrap my head around Justin Verlander or Jacob deGrom because it feels like Carlos Rodon's long gone.
No.
He's already visited the New York Mets. He's on the East Coast.
I knew he was gone about halfway through the season. He said something. Yeah, Giants fans, they're the best in baseball. I'm like, you don't have to say that, Carlos, because nobody believes you.
You don't. We kind of knew that he's gonna opt out. The Giants are gonna say because the Giants had found pitchers diamonds in the rough, right? When it comes to Kevin Gausman and Carlos Rodon, they kicked the tires on Anthony DeSclafani, who was good for most of 2021, or it was good until he faced the Dodgers, of course, when he had like a 13 ERA that season. But I haven't even wrapped my head around any other free agent whatsoever. It has to be Judge, and then you move on from there. And then all of a sudden, you move on from Judge, and then you start setting your sights on Shohei. You start setting your sights out on other stars because this is a star market. But Giants fans are having anxiety right now, and I don't blame them. And we don't know what's what. We see the video last week where he's at the hotel and he gives us the wink. And he said, hey, I'm just here to visit family and friends. And we're like, is he house shopping? But is he going to the Warriors game? Who's sending the pitches? Who's going to be in the room or whatnot? I don't know when it gets done, but it does sound like he wants to get it done by the end, whether it's this week or next week when the winter meetings take place in San Diego.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he wants this to drag on, and good for him because we don't want this to drag on. He's the biggest domino, and it's the same thing as the Kevin Durant trade request situation. Everything froze. I think everything is a bit frozen right now to see where Aaron Judge is going to go, and that's the thing that I was telling Spadoni, a couple of minutes ago. There's no way there's only two offers. There's no way it's just the Yankees and the Giants. There's a silent auction going on somewhere for Aaron Judge, and he knows that. So this thing isn't over by a long shot. So it's nice that Morosi said that it's 50-50. It really just depends on what Aaron Judge cares the most about.
I heard you discussing this with Spadoni when you're talking about, what if the Mets are in? What if the Dodgers are in? We don't know what other teams are in. Padres, yeah, they could be in because they spend money now. And they don't know about Tatis Jr.
Right.
As much as Tatis Jr. Is a baller, he let them down last season. And he's had the wrist injury, he's had the shoulder. There's no guarantee he gets back to the form he was at pre-injuries or pre-steroids or whatever. And they don't even know about Juan Soto signing a long-term deal yet. He hasn't signed that long-term deal with the Padres. They could be in on Aaron Judge down at Petco Park in San Diego. And Shasky brought up something yesterday that there's a not week with Cohen, the Mets owner, getting into Major League Baseball because the Yankees had played a big role in that to get Cohen into the Mets organization and own that baseball team. And he was saying, Cohen may not mess with Judge because he owes the Yankees a favor. And my mindset is, well, he got him in. He's running the Mets. They're battling for tabloids, headlines on the New York Post and the New York Daily News and the New York Times. They're fighting for fans in New York City. What would stop Cohen from saying, hey, Aaron Judge, here's $400 million?
That is what we heard earlier during the season, I think, and then it just kind of went away. But nothing ever really goes away. It just gets quiet. So I think that you make a good point. And that's a situation where everybody was laughing at the Mets because of what they didn't do in the postseason. But that also could hurt a fan of somebody not the Mets because now they're thinking, well, I guess we got to get another piece. You would have been better off at least with the Mets getting close, so now you're thinking, all right, we're pretty good. We just got to move some things around. Now he's thinking, wow, I thought we were close. We're not close. I guess we need an Aaron Judge. And but to me,
and how would Met fans feel about that? Like, wait, you didn't go after Aaron Judge because the Yankees? You owe the Yankees a favor?
I don't believe that at all. This is business, and businessmen don't become, or businesswomen, they don't become where they are in business for favors and things like that. You got to be cold-blooded. So if Aaron Judge is out there and he's even giving you the time of day, why wouldn't you take a shot on it?
Right, I'm with you here. Sweetie Birdie, who covers the Yankees for WFAN in New York. Who did you join? Damon and Ratto yesterday. Damon and Alan Stiles. Alan Stiles basically got off the show at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Went to bed and came back to the studio. So you have no life. All right, at least for the last 24 hours. He was on with you guys yesterday, and he's been on the beat for a long time. So you've already heard this. You were in the interview, obviously.
Right.
But I want to play this for our morning audience. And Sweetie Birdie was discussing Aaron Judge and whether or not he'd be shocked if he left the Yankees. Here's what he had to say about that.
I'm going to be surprised. I am always surprised, and it's not even. It's more so because Judge is a Yankee. But if he was on some other team and the Yankees had a glaring need, and it was kind of like, okay, he's going to be a Yankee. Until I saw him holding up another team's jersey and wearing another team's cap in front of a podium, I'm always going to believe he's a Yankee. So that's kind of my feeling with Judge. They have been dug in together for 9 years since he was drafted here. The Yankees clearly have the money to pay him if they choose. He knows what it's about here. I'd be shocked if he left.
But they let him test free agency. They let him go out there and get recruited. They let him come to the West Coast and meet with, I don't know, Larry Bear. Maybe it's Charles Johnson.
I heard
don't even know.
Rich Aurelio was there giving him wine.
Thank God. But was E40 there with the Lupias?
He should have been there. He better be there.
Steph Curry, they were sharing text messages.
Yeah.
The fact that you let Aaron Judge test the waters, if I'm a Yankee fan, I'm petrified.
Right.
Say, we didn't lock this guy up before the year. Then he goes out and have one of the best contract seasons in all of professional sports. I can't recall a guy having a contract year like that, where he damn near wins a Triple Crown. So he thinks that he'll be shocked because he would have to see it to believe it. But to me, it's not shocking anymore. To me, it's not shocking when you go out there in the postseason and carry the Yankees to the postseason and you strike out a couple times and all of a sudden the Boo Birds are coming down.
And Aaron Judge said all the right things. They're entitled to that. I need to play better. He said all the right things, but does he really feel that way? Is he really thinking, yeah, I deserve to be booed? There's no shot. There's absolutely no shot. And, the first mistake the Yankees made, they gave him that offer in the $200 million range before the season. Then he goes off, and now they're offering him $300 million, who they know that multiple teams can counter.
Yep.
So that's why something isn't sticking to me. And even during the All-Star game, he's been giving multiple opportunities to say all the typical, athlete speak that they do. I'm just happy being a Yankee, yada, yada, yada. He hasn't done any of that. He sat there and he said, we're just going to see how this plays out. So he's been playing it coy the whole time. And I think it's because he feels a bit disrespected. I mean, I watched the Derek Jeter documentary a couple months back, and it was the same idea. That was later in his career.
Right.
But it's a business. And I think Aaron Judge might feel like, you guys are disrespecting me a little bit monetarily. I just balled out. You're off now. This is all relatively speaking to everybody out there. $300 million for 8 years. Knowing now why that leaked, how that leaked, we don't know. Now you have the Giants, who are going to counter.
Right.
So what happens? Does this turn into an auction that we've never seen before?
Yeah, I don't know.
I've never seen a report come out to say, okay, we offered you this. You get another offer from a team, and then the Yankees come back and say, okay, Giants say 320, and then the Yankees say 340.
Right.
That doesn't normally happen.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. You go to a number and you say, hey, this is our number.
Right.
And we're willing to match anybody. But it's not going to be, hey, 330, 340, 345, 350, 360.
Yeah.
And I don't even believe the Yankees stopped at 300.
Right.
Because that seems a bit low.
That's
for
why
what
I don't
Aaron
really
Judge
believe
wants.
the report.
8 years, $300 million seems like a bargain for a guy like Aaron Judge. Here's what Sweetie Murdy, though, had to say about the mega offer that you're discussing. We haven't heard anything from the Giants. Here's what Murdy had to say about that.
What kind of has surprised me is that we haven't yet heard of this, mega offer from the Giants, because if you think about 300 has to be kind of where it starts. To pry him away, you probably have to go a little bit more, right? It's not a perfect example. I'm going to go back to Cano. The Yankees were going to offer him about 175, all said and done. The Mariners gave him 240. Okay, and he said, "Yeah, sure, I'll go." I don't think this is a situation where the Giants can offer $1 more than the Yankees and say we got him. You've got to make your pitch and go for it, because your ultimate goal is to make the Yankees say, "No, we're not going to match that." I kind of feel like if you're any other team, including the Giants, you don't want him to have a decision. You want to say, bam, I'm giving you this.
The Giants already have paraded around town saying they're going to spend whatever they need to spend to go get free agents this year. Right. So what he's saying about Robinson Cano, where he gets offered $175 and he goes take some Mariners money, and we never really hear from Robinson Cano ever again, unless it had to do with it had to do with a dirty test. That's the only time we heard about Cano, and his career kind of went downhill. The Giants have said money's not going to be a problem. So Sweetie Murdy, who joined you and Damon yesterday, right here on 95.7 The Game, money's not an issue. So I wouldn't worry about that if you're a Giants fan. Oh, the Yankees offered $300 tonight. The Giants are having second thoughts. No. They've already told everybody we're spending cash.
Yeah.
It's not an issue, especially when you have only $25 million committed on the 2024 payroll.
Yeah, and look, Vegas has the Giants as the favorite to land Aaron Judge right now. However you want to take that, you can take that. You know, if you're a Giants fan, you can feel good about that, or you can just say, look, I'll believe it when he's holding up that orange and black jersey. They got to do more. And I think that's what other people have talked about as well, going to Aaron Judge, assuming even if the Yankees, as I joked, that they can't beat the Astros, they've still been in the mix. And the Giants, I'm not calling it luck. I'm not calling it a fluke, but it seems like it was a flash in the pan, 2021.
Right.
I mean, it does seem like that,
And
right?
look at the division.
And look at the
Padres,
division.
Dodgers, and the Diamondbacks started playing better. They have a plethora of young talent.
Yeah.
So the Diamondbacks are pesky right there in that division. I'm not sure how much better you are than the Rockies.
No.
And everybody can say, well, you're 81-81. That's fool's gold.
Yeah.
Giants stuck last season.
And now, so Aaron Judge, does he really want to go from the bright lights of New York to playing for the Giants? As much as I love the Giants, I do enjoy winning and I do enjoy being competitive. So the Giants have to come with money, the Brinks truck. They also have to come with the plan. We're not stopping at you. After you, we're going to get Carlos Correa. After that, I mean, they posted that lineup, and you know who was protecting? You know who they had protecting Aaron Judge?
Oh, God.
Jock Peterson in the 3-hole. Now, I love Jock Peterson. If you've heard me on this station before, you know I actually hit batting practice with Jock Peterson back in the day. You know, just a humble brag right there.
Oh, give it to me. Whoa. That deserved like 4.
You know, so I love Jock, right? But the 3-hitter at this stage in his career protecting Aaron Judge,
a platoon 3-hitter.
That you're not exactly.
It's not even an everyday 3-hitter.
That's what they should have put up. That's what they should have put up on LB Network against righties. We don't even know what it would be. JD Davis.
Oh my God.
You know,
Wilmer Flores.
Oh, that's depressing.
So that's just.
Oh man.
If I'm Aaron Judge, as much as I love the Giants, as much as I love, we heard a story yesterday that he was a big Jonathan Sanchez guy and he got to meet him and all those types of things. As much as he loves all of that, you can't move out here with no plan to be second and to be hopefully second place because the Dodgers aren't going anywhere and no plan. I mean, look at Kyle Harrison, another day-law guy. That's the most sure thing we have.
Right. And I still don't even know because prospects are prospects until they prove it at the major league level.
Right. The only reason I say that about Kyle Harrison, because he's a pitcher.
Right.
It's a little bit, but everybody else that we've seen with Matos and everybody.
Luciano, who's had back issues already.
We don't even know where he's going to play anymore.
We have no idea.
He's not a shortstop, or we don't know what position he's going to play anymore. Aaron Judge is looking, thinking, I'm signing up for this. Me, Logan Webb, and the Supremes. That's what we're doing.
Posse in P-Town is saying that, man, there's only 2 teams involved. That's saying a lot. See, I don't believe there's only 2 teams involved. There's a lot of teams who are just staying quiet. I think the Red Sox are lurking in the cut. I think the Mets are lurking in the cut. The Dodgers are always in play. You can't sleep on the L.A., Anaheim, California, whatever you want to call them, Angels. You can't sleep on them.
The irrelevant Angels.
Right, exactly. What about Seattle, who's all of a sudden had an itchy finger, and all of a sudden they're looking at their wallet saying, we want to spend a little more with this Nintendo money. We want to get somebody around
You know
J-Rod.
who's building? The Rangers. And they got money.
They got
good
money.
Taxes out there.
Seager, Simeon. They've got Nathaniel Lowe had a big year at first base.
Bruce
Bochy. That's a good call with Texas.
You know?
That's a great call with Texas. Man, the Aaron Judge watch. How does it end? What's your gut telling you? Is he coming to San Francisco? You can't see it. Huh? I can tell. You're pessimistic about this.
I am. I say realistic. I try not to say pessimistic,
right.
but
realistic. I like that.
Look, even though, again, me and Spadoni were talking about it, even though it goes football, basketball, baseball, the one brand that probably isn't a part of that or is higher than that is the Yankees. So it's just really hard for me to see Aaron Judge leaving the Yankees.
Leaving the pinstripes, man. I don't know how this ends, man, but all I know is this. I'm not going to be happy if the Giants finish in second.
Yeah.
They don't get any props for taking a meeting with Aaron Judge. They get no props for saying, hey, we have a blank check. We're gonna parade around Aaron Judge around town, take him to the wharf, get some clam chowder. No. You have to close the deal. You have to close the deal. And if the Giants don't close the deal, it's going to be a lot of disappointed Giants fans out here.
Yeah.
A lot. Because where do you even pivot to? What does other free agents say? Oh, wow, Aaron Judge inside there? Because it feels like the entire free agent market has been on hold because of Aaron Judge.
Yeah, if you don't get him, you got to go. You have to get one of the shortstops, Xander Bogaerts, somebody like that. You know what they need to do, Bonte? They need to find a way, because he's going to get the money, but they need to find a way to get whoever the best beard. We need a beard business to invest with Aaron Judge, because you can't grow facial hair on the Yankees, and he says, oh well, I need this money, I gotta go to the Giants because I can't grow this facial hair.
Does he even care about that?
Probably
he does
not.
have a nice fresh face.
He does.
I'll speak for myself. I need the facial hair. I gotta hide the ugly.
Yeah,
Aaron Judge is a handsome young man.
Right, that's right. I'm grasping at straws here, Bonte.
Right.
I'm trying, man.
This segment was brought to you by Golden State Lumber, serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com, and also tune in to Warriors Live tonight at 6 p.m. on 95.7 The Game, presented by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi, unbeatable internet. Only from Xfinity. What's next coming up on The Game? Brought to you by ChooseChange.org and the Department of Healthcare Services. More Warriors talk. We got Warriors Bulls tonight, plus the Miami Dolphins coming to town. Take on the Niners. This is a big game, Alan. Big game. Let's get into it here on The Roast.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life or your choices with just one wrong pill. Find medically proven treatment options at ChooseMatt.org.
What's up, everybody? I know you're out there balling for the holidays, man. You got money. You got to figure out a Christmas gift. Well, I have the perfect gift for you, and it's at 957thegameshop.com. That's right, 957thegameshop.com. You can buy a Morning Roast t-shirt, Steiny and Goo, Willard the Dibs, Dave and their Rattle. You get generic 957 The Game t-shirts. Who doesn't want to wake up on Christmas morning with the 957 The Game long sleeve, a 957 The Game hoodie? Come on, folks, spend that money. The holiday season's coming. 957thegameshop.com. Be there.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
Thank you to all of the business owners who kept people employed during the pandemic. For all you've done, you may be eligible to claim the Employee Retention Tax Credit, a payroll tax refund from the United States Treasury Department, applicable to businesses who kept employees on payroll during the pandemic. The window is closing to claim your refund. Contact Paychex to see if you qualify. Paychex is proud to have helped more than 45,000 businesses secure over $9.2 billion in ERTC claims, an average of $190,000 per business. 50 years and thousands of experts in HR, payroll, benefits, and insurance. You may be eligible to claim the Employee Retention Tax Credit, a payroll tax refund from the United States Treasury Department, applicable to businesses who kept employees on payroll during the pandemic. The window is closing to claim your refund. Contact Paychex to see if you qualify. Visit paychex.com/ERTC to find out how Paychex can help you get additional cash into your business. Paychex.com/ERTC. Paychex.com/ERTC.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for just $49.99 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, ask how to get up to a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle. Offer ends 12/5/2022. Restrictions apply. EcoBill and AutoPay required. New 50 megabits per second internet, and Security Edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra, and subject to change. Mobile Savings compares pricing of top 3 carriers.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7 with supplies and solutions for every industry and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The best part about taking ZQuil Pure Z's Sleep Plus Next Day Energy at night is actually the next morning. I wake up alert with none of the grogginess from taking too much melatonin. Pure Z Sleep Plus Next Day Energy is a bilayer tablet with immediate release melatonin and extended release B vitamins to help me fall asleep naturally and wake refreshed. It's my secret weapon for a great night's sleep and a great morning.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
Can't beat that.
ZQuil Pure Z's Gummies. Sleep better, wake your best.
Come on, man. You got Larry June in the building. You listen to the Morning Roast, and we're doing numbers, man. Good job, Morning Roast. Sock it to me. Hey. Yee!
Shout out to Larry June. One of the more memorable performances on Warriors Postgame Live. He was on another planet, but it's all good. Good job, Larry. Jerry Rice, Monday at 8:30. He's going to join us after the Niners take on the Dolphins. Jerry Rice, 8:30. And get this, Alan. We got to hook you up because now you're a roaster. When you get in here at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. or 4:30 a.m., you are officially a roaster. And I think the roasters appreciate you. So the roasters are welcoming you to the morning roast. They loving you right now. Styles Files. We have new gear dropping at 3 o'clock.
Ooh.
New gear dropping at 3 o'clock. 957thegame.shop.com. New hot gear being released. Morning roast gear being released at 3 p.m. And again, I told you guys, we're figuring out ways to get some guys some gear, some roasters out there, some free gear. Maybe we'll do some callers. We'll figure out something. But new gear, 3 o'clock.
That'd be nice. I'm trying to talk to Matt. I'm trying to get something on there.
Yeah, get some Styles Files.
Yeah, a little something.
You a Dan Devone?
Yeah, a couple of medium shirts on there,
Well, this is the Medium Shirt show. This is the Medium Shirt. So, although your pipes look a lot better than mine, I got Jell-O. You got rocks in there. Niners and Dolphins. Niners and Dolphins on Sunday. This is going to be a fun game as this segment is presented by Golden State Lumber, the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com. Before we get to the Niners, because we do have Kerr's Corner coming up at 6:38. Warriors and Bulls. What was your thoughts or your feeling after the loss to Dallas on Tuesday? Were you irate? Were you disappointed?
Yeah.
Or did you come away from it like me where it was just like, all right, they lost, but I saw some things there. I feel good about where this team is at right now.
Well, where you're headed is one of those overused sports. I have a whole list of overused sports terms like culture, ceiling, and where you're headed in the same direction, moral victory.
Right.
That's where we're headed, moral victory. But you know what? That's okay because it kind of was, and I don't really mind that. I mean, Jonathan Kuminga with a quiet double-double, couple blocks that were huge. So you take that away, and for everything to happen the way it did and the Warriors still have an open Clay look to tie it and go to overtime, you got to be happy about that. Clay, 5 points. Wiggins, 10 points. They didn't show up. The bench did show up. Luka, a 41-point triple-double. Their guys, Tim Hardaway Jr. went off. He'd been ice cold. So, for all that to happen and they barely won, that's why you feel good about it. Right. On the other hand, to have a good game like that, a great game like that from the bench and not get the W, that's tough. But do I feel like they're starting to turn a corner? I want to, but it's a big game. But again, they're at home. I want to see them do it on the road, but we can't do that tonight.
Yeah, no, 3 straight at home. Bulls, Rockets, and then Pacers. So you get 3 games in 4 nights at Chase Center. And these are games where all of a sudden you look up Monday night and you're saying, wow, the Warriors are 14-11. They can handle business at home because they've won 8 straight at Chase Center. They're 9-1 overall at Chase. In Tuesday's game, you mentioned it. Wiggins, Clay, Poole, they went a combined 3 of 18 from the 3-point line. It's It's not going to happen most nights.
No.
Not going to happen most nights. So, like you, knowing that Jonathan Kuminga is starting to figure it out and figure out his role, rebounding, a double-double, picking up Luka Doncic, 94 feet, full court. Anthony Lamb knowing his role. DiVincenzo starting to come around a little bit. I like JaMychal Green as a small ball 5 where he's just in the dunker spot. Hey, you're going to be down in the block. You're going to play physical defense. You're going to grab offensive rebounds and dunk the basketball. Now you got to figure out who's going to be that other guy. Well, we know from Steve Kerr, it's not going to be Andre Iguodala anytime soon.
No.
Moses Moody may not be him for any time soon as he racks up DMPs. James Wiseman, well, he was at Chase Center yesterday in the meeting, but now he's headed to Stockton to go play for Santa Cruz Sea Dubs.
What do you think about the Moses Moody thing? What's your take on that? Because I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened either. I know he was a coach's favorite, and he's a guy who can handle the ball. He can hit the three. He plays defense. Now, wing depth, I thought was an issue on his team coming in, and I thought Moses Moody was there to pick up that slack. It's kind of strange to me because, yes, he's had some turnovers. Yes, he's had some bad finishes at the rim. Lateral movement at time defensively can be an issue for him. But I am stunned that he's not even getting 5 minutes of action.
You can't get in the game. Like, how do you go from what was the whole thing with Moses Moody? He might not have the highest ceiling, but he's the most pro ready. He's the most ready to go now.
The IQ's there.
He can't even get off the bench.
The IQ. He knows where to be. He knows when to set a screen. He knows when to pass. He's on the bench right now, and look, he's got to stay ready, and I think he is a professionalism, and he's a professional in that sense. But Steve Kerr, anything that he's told us, and this happened in 2018, media day, he sat there and said, this is going to be about the youngsters, the Jordan Bells, the Quinn Cooks, the McKinneys, the McCaws. 15 games into the season, that play was aborted. It was like, KD, Steph, Clay, Draymond, you're playing 35 minutes a night. Go get some dubs.
Yeah.
And the same thing this year, basically, where it's like, look, the youngsters are going to be playing a lot. They're going to be in a rotation. It's why Otto Porter Jr., Gary Payton II all moved on. And then 15 games into the season, Wiseman's picking up DMPs. He's back in the G League. Moody can't play. And now Kuminga is now starting to crack the lineup or crack the rotation finally. So Moody, I don't know, man. I asked Darrell about it yesterday because he's been in that spot. Darrell, right? You just got to stay ready.
You have to. And I think when you look at what the Warriors are trying to do right now and turn this corner, for me, I've always said, or at the beginning of the season, I said the 30-game mark when everyone's, you got to move the kids. You got to move the kids. The problem is this. Do the kids have any value besides the one kid you don't want to move, Kuminga?
Right.
You're not getting, sorry, Dubs fans, you're not getting Miles Turner for Wiseman and Moses Moody. That's not happening.
No, you got to attach a lot of draft picks to that.
A lot of draft picks. So we still have they're 11-11. We got 8 more games for me to make my decision, because it matters so much.
Right.
My decision in terms of where I think this team is at. To your point, these are 3 games. The Pacers been playing well now.
They have. They got blown out in Sacramento the other night, but they have been playing well.
Light the beam.
Yeah,
Light the beam.
Hey, Dan Dibley was getting on me about the Pacers. I'm like, the Pacers ain't no joke. They play hard.
I mean, they keep hearing, I'm getting traded, this, that, the third, and they're not moving, right? So that we might as well start winning. Halliburton balling out. So you got to beat the Bulls. Rockets, come on now. You got to do
the
it.
Rockets.
So now the question is, this back-to-back, Steve Kerr, are you going to go with the nobody's playing again on this back? You can't keep doing that.
No, you can't afford it. Not this weekend.
No.
And you've had time off.
Right.
Think about the schedule. The schedule's benefited the Golden State Warriors in the last couple weeks. They've had 3-day stretches where they've been off. Here you haven't played since Tuesday. You fly back Wednesday, Thursday. No shoot around this morning on a Friday. You should be able to handle business and play on these back-to-backs, 3 games in 4 nights. And look, it's the Rockets. They're going to play hard.
They do.
So you're going to have to play your guys.
And Jalen Green going to talk trash.
Oh, Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., they're going to do their thing. So the Warriors 8-4 in their last 12 after a 3-7 start. Not bad. 11-11. Yeah, it's mediocre, but you look at the Western Conference, it's Portland's fading. Utah's fading. Memphis is banged up. Nobody's running away with anything right now. I think it's way too early to panic, but I like that. Seeing where they're at in the next 10 games or next 8 games at the 30 games stretch here. So we'll see what happens there. It's time for Kerr's Corner.
It's time for Kerr's Corner, presented by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity. Here's Bonte Hill.
Again, Alan Styles name dropping and everything, and he was on with Damon yesterday, and they had who is it? Sweetie Birdie from WFAN. They also had Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr talked to Alan Stiles. Can you believe that? Alan Stiles of Pride of De La Salle and the Temple Owls. Shout out John Chaney, rest in peace. Steve Kerr was asked if the Warriors have turned the corner.
Oh, for sure. But the exciting thing is I think there's still a ways to go from a ceiling standpoint. Our defense has been better. There's no question. Like over the last 10 games, we're better, but we're not where we need to be. We still, I don't think, are playing with enough of an edge for the 48 to really be good defensively. So I think we can get there, but we're definitely on the right track. Our guys are working, and they're doing a great job. We've been pretty consistent here over the last 10 games. We're putting together offense and defense and connecting the game well. And so I like where we're heading.
It's hard to disagree with the coach. Hard to disagree. Feels like they have turned the corner, but as you mentioned, Alan, they have a ways to go.
Yeah, and these 3 games are more important because you know what's lurking. I mean, like you said, the Jazz are fading, but you got to go to Utah. It's never easy.
Right.
After that, Bonte,
it
you
gets
got the
real.
Celtics.
Yep.
You got the Bucks.
Right.
You got the Pacers again. You got the Sixers.
Yep.
So you talk about chasing wins. You need to get these wins now.
Isn't that a 6-game road trip coming up on the East Coast?
It goes Bucks on the road, Pacers on the road, Sixers on the road, Raptors on the road, Knicks on the road, then Nets on the road.
6-game. Wow. Yeah, you gotta stack up these wins at home.
You have to.
You gotta. And Boston's coming to town, and they're playing extremely well. Yeah. Jason Tatum almost dropped the 50 burger the other night. Jaylen Brown's locking dudes up, and Robert Williams when they get him back. Yeah, that's why when you talk about trades, and I know we got a break here. What the Warriors have to do is make a trade to make sure they match up with Milwaukee and Boston. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
This is about the playoffs, about the conference finals, about the finals. You got to match up with those teams.
But who goes? That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's pick that up on the other side. Who should go? Who would you trade? Would you give up on the young fellas? Because I tell you right now before the break, I'm not trading Jonathan Kuminga. I can't do it. Not with that athleticism. Not with that ability to lock up defensively, but I want to get your thoughts on the other side. We'll break here and get your thoughts. Who should go for the Golden State Warriors? Who would you trade if you wanted to add a veteran? And what veteran would that be? Jakob Poeltl? I don't know. That's coming up on the game, sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromises.
Every week, Damon and Retto go inside the 49ers locker room.
Azeez Al-Shire.
You know, when you're around a group of guys that are held to such a high standard that you have no choice but to get better or you're just going to get weeded out.
Hear a different 49er each week on Damon and Retto.
Bang, bang, gang.
Brought to you by Harris Ranch Beef. Visit your local Chavez supermarkets for all your beef and tailgate needs.
Folks, this is your pilot. We have to land immediately and hurry to the Xfinity Black Friday sale. New Xfinity customers can get 400 megabit internet with unlimited data and Xfi Complete for $55 a month for 2 years with no annual contract. And a free 4K streaming box included. Plus, now through December 5th, get HBO Max included for a year.
Drop everything and get to the Xfinity Black Friday sale. Go to Xfinity.com to learn more. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Ad-supported plan of HBO Max. After promo, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Now presenting at Osh. If you need a great gift idea, head to Outdoor Supply Hardware. Whether you're shopping for your favorite DIY doer, Green Thumb Go-Getter, or anyone in between, you can choose gifts they're gonna love. From a huge selection of name brands like DeWalt, Traeger, Carhartt, and Stihl. Swing by and let Osh's friendly faces point you to presents you'll be proud to give. Is that special someone hard to shop for? Don't fret. Osh has gift cards too. Savor the season at Osh with 14 convenient locations and at Osh.com. Osh, home, hardware, and happiness. Have you considered walking through another door? I don't mean to pursue another opportunity, but upgrading a door in your home. Now, if you are in fact looking for another opportunity, Golden State Window and Door can provide you with plenty. You can create renewed function and design for use indoors and out. You'll find modern options like Marvin's Elevate In-Swing French Door, Barn Doors by Trustyle, or Anderson Big Doors that welcome in natural light. Golden State Window and Door features a variety of materials, sizes, and glass options. You can get inspired by the many possibilities when you visit GoldenStateLumber.com. Click on Virtual Tours, and you'll discover beautifully planned displays of doors and windows of all kinds that will spark your imagination. Then, talk with our builder or designer to see what might be a good fit for your home. serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
Attention! Did you or a loved one live at or near Marine Base Camp Lejeune in North Carolina between 1953 and 1987? If so, listen closely for this important legal announcement. From 1953 to 1987, Marines and their family members at Camp Lejeune drank water that was contaminated with hazardous toxins. The toxins found in the water at Camp Lejeune may cause health issues, especially later in life. Types of health issues associated with water at Camp Lejeune are numerous. If you or a loved one lived near Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation without going to court. Even if you were turned down in the past, a new law can allow you to file a claim today. If you or a loved one spent time near Camp Lejeune, call the Negligence Network to find out if you're eligible for financial compensation. There's no fee unless we win your case. Call 1-800-700-4333. That's 1-800-700-4333. 1-800-700-4333.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Avoid giving useless knickknacks this holiday season and look for durable items that will last for years. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Need weekend plans? Check out what's happening at your local Lowe's. Weekending at Lowe's gives you and your family the opportunity to make us your weekend destination. Stop by for free workshops, events, and activities for everyone to enjoy. Check out Lowe's.com/events to see this month's lineup, like our Winterfest event and Kids Workshop featuring a DIY Christmas ornament. Count on Lowe's for all your home improvement needs. And now, gatherings that are fun for all with Weekending at Lowe's.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, it's Boomer Esiason, and we all know the game isn't over till it's over. So next time you need parts for your car, don't call it quits. Go to eBay Motors. They have 122 million parts to take your car into overtime. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
It's your boy Guru from Steiny and Guru, noon to 3, right here on 95.7 The Game. Now back to the morning roast. I'm a roaster because these two guys are my guys. Yin and Yang, right here on 95.7 The Game. I'm a roaster.
Goo! Hey, so 50 Cent Friday. 50 Cent, you see him in Sacramento lighting the beam up the other day?
I did see that, man. They're having a good time out there.
They are. They're loving life in Sacramento. Got my boy Kenny Caraway with the Drake bars on ESPN 1320. 50 Cent selling his liquor in Sacramento. He's got the Kings hat on, sitting courtside next to Vivek Ranadive. By the way, 50. Can't believe that album's like damn near 20 years old. Aged well. 50 aged well.
It did. And the thing is, I mean, it was so big, there was no way he could eclipse that. Right. And he had some good songs at Candy Shop and things like that. But it's almost as if he didn't have to do anything. You're not beating that. Right. You're not beating that,
Get
man.
Rich or Die Trying. And then the next album was it The Massacre, Valentine's Day Massacre.
Right.
You're not beating those two albums whatsoever. But he's had a great career. He's gotten to movies and shows and the whole Power series. Were you in on the Power series?
So my older sister's always like, "You watching Power yet?" I watched the first season. I'm just be honest. I got a lot of things. I got Disney. I got the Hulu. I got everything. I don't have Stars, and I just went the BART train left without me, and I just didn't feel like trying to catch up.
No, I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you. I got suckered into it, and I just wrote it out.
Is it worth it?
I guess if you like.
I watched Snowfall.
Snowfall's next level.
So that's
Snowfall,
why
Power doesn't touch Snowfall.
Okay.
Snowfall's in the categories of The Wire, Sopranos, Breaking Bad, whatever show you want to put up there. Snowfall's on that short list. And I can't wait for Snowfall to get back. But Snowfall's, it's just an entirely different ballgame.
Okay.
Like, Power tries to do some of the same things.
Yeah.
But it's like, It's like watching UPN or a network show on Fox compared to HBO.
Shout out Moesha.
Shout out Moesha. Love Moesha. But then you look back like All-American, right?
Don't. If Goo's listening right now, don't talk bad.
So
I was talking to Goo about All-American. That man loves All-American.
So
man.
he put me on All-American. B, you got to watch All-American. You got to watch All-American. So the pandemic hits. He's like, you got to watch All-American. And I got to the last season, and
it's still going.
It's still, oh my God.
It's still going.
No way.
And I ran
No way.
I'm talking to Goo. It's still going. I said, Goo, after season 4, after Spence did his thing, I had to get out, Goo. And he's watching. Now there's a spinoff with the baseball player, and Goo's like, I watch both.
Wait, there's a spinoff with the baseball? The dude who took did he take the quarterback's girl?
He did. And now they're
and now they're beefing.
Now they're at an HBCU, and he's playing baseball out there. And they're 2 shows. They're both still going.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I stopped when Spitz was going out to Ohio to visit that college.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? And as much, look.
That's when I was like, I don't know if I could get back in.
Well, and as much as obviously they're trying to do the civil rights thing, and we love it. We love it.
Right.
But when he said we're not playing our state championship game and got everybody to not play.
Yeah, that was
what are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing? Nobody's doing that.
Nobody's
You're playing
doing
the
that.
state championship
Yeah, come
game.
on now.
And you're trying to get this ring. So the guy, the Tay Diggs' son, who was the quarterback in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Where did he end up going?
He went to he goes to, they call it like Coastal California or something like that.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
And so his girl moved on from him.
His girl's at the HBCU.
And she got chalked up by dudes.
Yeah, they're like still trying to work through it. It's a mess, man.
But she's like, not happening. All right, that's All-American spinoff. That's Guru, man. Guru put me onto it, and I was like, Guru, this is really bad. And it's one of those shows where you just keep watching. Because you're like,
right, the first season, outstanding.
Yeah,
you don't know
first
that
season, you're like, okay, yeah. Second, third, fourth, you're like, all right, Spence is just having these anger rages.
Yeah.
Like he's just raging out like, whoa,
Right.
Yo, Spence, dude, it's not that serious.
Yeah, then
man.
IDK.
And then he left the school. He left Beverly. Then he goes back to Compton. Then he goes back. It's enough.
Yeah,
thank
it's enough.
Thank
It's
you,
enough.
but I've had enough.
All right, before the
Lay
break,
off.
before we got into All-American and all these shows, Snowfall, though, I can't wait for that to come back. Love Snowfall. They've had like one bad episode, in my opinion, and it was when Franklin Saint was in that coma, and you didn't know what was going on. Like, wait, what's going on here?
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
he was in the hospital? That, to me, was the one bad episode.
Well, the
ever.
Tiger one was kind of random.
Tiger one was that was random. That was random. Hey, you got me there. That was a little random. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed how they got out of that. It was random though. Tiger just in the hood, middle of the hood, walking around like, okay, yeah,
okay.
The Warriors. All right, so they're 11-11, and Twitter would tell you needed to do this, and that. You need to trade for these guys and got all the answers. We all think we have all the answers. So if you're looking at the Warriors right now, Alan, what would you say? What would you say they need right now on this roster?
What they need right now, and I think a lot of teams need this, right? It's not even necessarily the centerpiece, like as a center, because that was what the most interesting thing was as far as the James Wiseman situation. They never played with an athletic center like this, right? The closest thing we've seen to James Wiseman throughout this stretch has been JaVale McGee.
Right.
And you had
Right.
KD at that time. You need something, or you need someone that can continue to stretch the offense for what JaMychal Green is doing. You kind of need a better version of JaMychal Green, because he wasn't supposed to be the small five.
Right.
You need another long four that you can count on, and you can, all right, when the offense gets a little stagnant, because like we said, Wiggins, he's been consistent, but if he, peels off a little bit and we don't know what we're going to get from Clay and Jordan Poole, he's really confused right now. That offense is a bit stuck in the mud.
So you talked about what the Warriors need from the center spot. And I think over the years we've kind of underrated it. They like rugged, physical screen setters who will protect the paint.
Right.
We think Andrew Bogut. We think Zaza. Even JaVale McGee, he had to learn to screen or he wasn't getting on the court. And you see what Kevon Looney's doing right now when it comes to setting screens and that being that physical presence in the paint, which is why they love Looney. Wiseman coming in, he was like, I'm like KG Chris Bosh. I'm going to score. I'm going to hit threes. I'm going to hit the elbow jumper. That's just not the way they want their centers to operate. So how can James Wiseman adjust? What a screen setting was awful. It was atrocious. Hopefully he's down to Santa Cruz, and I've watched some of the clips and some of the games. It's getting better, but is it up to par? Is it up to the standard that Steve Kerr wants? I don't think so. Not yet. Then you think about rebounding and defense and protecting the paint. It's just not there yet. So, to me, if you want to throw in Miles Turner and Jakob Poeltl, I'm not going to sit here in front, even though I watch League Pass. I'm not locked in on Miles Turner. We'll see Miles Turner on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what he does. Does he screen set? Does he block those shots? Is that a guy you want to take a chance on who's on an expiring contract? He's going to be a free agent next season. I'm not sure about Wiseman. Maybe, and I like Wiseman, the young man. I think how he gets punished on social media is just totally unfair.
Mm-hmm.
Called selfish and these things. He's a great kid. Great kid trying to figure it out. Think about it, Alan. You're an athlete. You're a college athlete. You come in your freshman year. You're trying to figure things out, but you have some success, right?
Right.
I think Wiseman had a little success as a rookie. 11.6 rebounds. Your first game is say, hey, go play next to Steph and Draymond while Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving's on the other side. You're 18 years old.
Yeah. And
18.
But these Gen Zers out here, they got a lot of confidence.
They got a lot of confidence.
So part of them is like, hey, I'm here to rock. I'm here to rock. I'm not here to set screens. I'm here to boogie and do my thing as well. I know you saw, and I don't want to blow it up too much. And I think, like you said, social media takes these things and runs with it. When he did show in Orlando, he did show up Steph. He wanted the ball in the post.
Yep. And you know what? He did. And then they go down, and he gives up the 3-point play.
Mm-hmm.
However, Steph missed the box out.
Yeah.
But we're not going to point at Steph. Steph's our golden child. We're not going to do that. Steph missed the box. They all missed the box out. And he got frustrated. I get it. Part of the frustration is, I can rock with y'all. Let me get a shot to do something.
Right. I'm here for a reason.
Here with the Warrior fans, you show up Stephen Curry, you're done.
You're done.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
But you can't, though. You can't.
This fan base is not letting it fly.
No,
letting it fly.
You have
the team's not letting it fly. You haven't earned that equity yet.
You haven't earned that. You got to earn your stripes, young fella. You know who the Warriors need when you think about that rugged.
Right.
You need. I know he's not available, and you're gonna face him in a couple weeks here. Bobby Portis.
And Milwaukee's not going to deal with him.
No, of course
He's
not. But that's the type of guy
like
that you need. He can hit some corner threes. He's rugged. He knows his role. That's the problem with the younger guys. They're trying. What their roles are right now is not what they want them to be. Right. Or they don't want to necessarily. All right, learn. Okay, this is who I am now, but this isn't who I'm going to be in a couple years. They want it now.
Right. They do. And look, it was unfair for Wiseman to get all that blame because I look at it. He had a 4-point lead with a minute left in Charlotte. Wiseman played 5 minutes in the first quarter.
Yeah.
He didn't touch the court again.
Right.
It's not on him.
No.
Orlando, I get it. They started going on a run. He's in the game. Still up dub.
Mm-hmm.
Still up fit. You know what I'm saying? Orlando looked like the vets down the stretch. Wiseman wasn't the problem when you scored 2 minutes in the last 5-on-3 against Miami down in South Beach. So I'm not going to give him all the blame. But to your point about figuring out your role or doing the dirty work, it does feel like Jonathan Kuminga has turned that corner.
Yes.
It does feel like Jonathan Kuminga says, okay, if I'm going to be able to play, if I can play with Steph and them, I have to play defense. I have to screen set. I have to be in the corner and just wait my turn to shoot. And you know what? Last couple nights, man, he's done that. And that's a positive. That's a positive there for a lottery pick for to go to St. Warriors. And he's probably the most athletic player on the team.
He is. I mean, you have to do the things. This is what he's learning. I have to do the things that nobody's going to talk about.
Right.
I have to do the things that aren't going to be on Bleacher Report. Mm-hmm. I have to do the things that aren't going to be on SportsCenter Top Plays. But that's how, my mom always had a saying, you got to do what you have to do in order to do the things you want to do. And that's what Jonathan Kuminga is starting to learn. You got to do things that you don't want to do, dude, in order to do the things that you do want to do.
Right.
You can't skip the line. Nah. And once you learn that, you're going to get more time. And next thing you know, you're getting double-doubles. Next thing you know, you're blocking shots.
Right.
You are getting the highlight reel dunk.
Right.
So he's learning that. It's a process. Now, to the point that we talked about before the break, is that enough to beat the Bucks in the finals? Is that enough to beat the Malcolm Brogdon Celtics?
Hey.
Everyone keep forgetting.
Hey, that was a great move by them.
It was the loudest
Brogdon.
silent move of the offseason, the Celtics getting Malcolm Brogdon.
I remember I tweeted, I was like, oh, this guy in Milwaukee was regretting trading Malcolm Brogdon or letting him go to Indiana and sign that money.
That's happened twice to him, by the way.
Right, I know, twice.
Yeah.
Dude, He is a baller. And he's coming off that bench, solidifying the bench as a backup point guard. And then Robert Williams, who wasn't healthy in the NBA Finals, it gave the Warriors fits when he was on the court.
Yeah, so I just think it's an opportunity for Jonathan Kuminga to kind of show up, grab your lunch pail, go to work. Don't get into trouble, right? Just do what you have to do. And Steve Kerr is already starting to take notice. I think another thing we have to talk about, and look, I love the kid. I love how he boogies. I love how he can get to the rack. But at some point, we have to discuss Jordan Poole. And right now, he looks a bit dazed and confused. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what it is. I have a theory, and my theory is that he's the guy that when somebody says, hey, you need to focus on this, he just gets uber focused and doesn't think about anything else. I mean, there are days where it just looks like he has no intention of shooting the basketball. No intention. And to me, I'm thinking, in practice, Steve Kerr probably said, hey, we want you to facilitate a little bit more. He might even say it in passing. And now Jordan Poole says, okay, I'm gonna be Rajon Rondo today, and that's not what we're paying you to do.
No,
we pay you to score. We need you to do some of those other things.
You got to score,
but you got to put the biscuit in the basket.
So that's why Draymond Green is now playing with that second unit, so Poole can focus on scoring.
Yeah,
I think the problem is once he started getting called for carries and walks, down in Miami and South Beach, discontinued dribbles. You see him. There were 7 travels called Tuesday against the Warriors against the Mavericks. Poole was called for a couple of them. And the first one was he's wide open at the three-point line, and for some reason he shuffles his feet and does a hop step.
Right.
And it's like, just shoot. Just shoot. He's overthinking everything, and he's moving way too fast.
When he shoots, he should probably pass. When he passes, he should probably shoot.
But when he's catching and shooting, cool. Those are good shots. Those are solid shots. Even if you're not making them, it's within the flow of the offense. When he gets in trouble, it's over 1-2-3 dribble. The Warriors, they wanted 1-2-3 dribble pass. 1-2-3 dribble pass. He's dribbling all around the floor. And it's like, whoa, it's too much. Now the shot clock's down to 10, and nobody's touched the rock. You're over dribbling or you're playing too fast.
Yeah.
It's the pacing right now for Jordan Poole that I have an issue with him coming off that bench. But with Draymond Green now in that second unit, I feel like it's been stabilized a little bit, and I have seen flashes of Jordan Poole from last season. Now, Tuesday night against Dallas, that was a setback. But when he gets straight line drives going to the basket, when he gets catches shoots.
Just one hezzy and go. Everyone is going to stop because of your ability to shoot. Get going downhill, one hezzy, go. Just do
way
that.
Too much.
Just do that, and you're good, man. You're good. You out here, he starts dribbling around. He doesn't necessarily know what to do. And the way you dribble,
and then the rest
Jordan,
of the players are sitting around saying, we're over here trying to screen and run split action, and you're running around the corner under the rim, outside the rim. What's going on here?
Yeah, so I asked Steve Kerr yesterday, I said, do you think Jordan Poole is being targeted a little bit? I had a loaded question, so he obviously he did not trying to get fined. He didn't say that Jordan Poole is starting to be targeted, but he did say that.
I know a thing or two about loaded questions.
He did say that they want it to be consistent, and I do. Me personally, I think it's very similar to Draymond Green. Draymond Green, we always joke, if Draymond Green did that, he'd be out the league, right? When other players do certain things, right now there is, I think, a book out on Jordan Poole that this guy travels, this guy discontinued dribbles, and I think that refs are going into games looking at him more than they look at other guys.
And it doesn't help when you continue to talk to the referees after every back call.
Right.
You got to stop chirping to the refs because these guys, we saw it in the Donahue doc, and we know what's going on now. They are holding grudges.
Yes.
You got Tony Brothers calling dudes. You got Tony Brothers out here calling dudes BAMFs. You know what I'm saying? You know, and use your imagination. You know what that means. Kerr more into traveling because I want to play this cut that you talked to Alan Stiles. Look at him. I haven't talked to Steve Kerr in a long time. Alan Stiles, man, comes in on short notice. He's talking to Steve Kerr about travels.
Jordan Poole has been called for, I would guess, 7 or 8 palming violations over the last month, since the league decided to really enforce all this stuff. And if that's the case, then, we got to call it on everybody. And that's my only beef, is that these things are happening a lot. We got called for a bunch of them. I have no problem with it. Like I said, a rule's a rule, but let's just be consistent. That's all I have.
Just be consistent as you are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM, and AC1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And do not forget that you can also watch us every single day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log on and search 95.7 The Game. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel while you are there. Jerry Rice, Monday, 8:30. New gear getting released at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Go on the 95.7 The Game Twitter page right now. You can start to see designs leaking out. El Sleepy Floyd, our boy El Sleepy Floyd. I don't know who you know if you know him on Twitter, but he's always drawing up stuff, graphics and everything.
Oh, yeah.
He hooked us up on the morning roast, so some really cool stuff out in there. But to his point about the travels, Poole has been pinpointed.
He has.
As a guy like, hey, it's like you ever watch the 30 for 30 on the Miami Hurricanes? Mm-hmm. And they're talking about all the celebration penalties and stuff like that. It was basically the Miami Hurricanes. It was like, yo, the NCAA is basically out to get us. And everything we do was basically in that board meeting to freaking take care of the rules. Well, I'm sure in Secaucus, New Jersey, where the NBA offices are, they're probably sitting there like, okay, JP, look at this right here. Travel, carry. Oh, and by the way, he's talking to the refs after every single dead ball. That's not going to fly.
Yeah.
Young fella, you haven't built the equity yet to be talking to us like that. Like Draymond has built that equity with the referees to where, if he gets a technical, he's not getting called for another one the rest of the game. And he could get away with barking.
They know that.
They
right?
know that. Jordan Poole, they're like, yo, son, check yourself.
We know you just got paid.
Right.
But you're not
check
like
yourself,
that.
homie.
But that's the problem, though. Because, and I don't know, how
and
much.
It's a problem.
But the problem is this. And I'm not watching every single game, but I'm seeing people. I have seen when the Warriors play the Grizzlies, and I'll watch when they have the primetime games. Ja Morant,
right?
Habitual, traveler, line stepper, right? Discontinued dribbler,
right?
That guy, Luka Doncic.
Oh my gosh,
this man, Bonte. I said the joke yesterday as well. I was a server, right? My years when I come home from school, I used to serve. Shout out Diablo Country Club. I was a server, right? You. And literally to serve the plate, you got to literally have your palm up.
Right.
Luka was serving plates like Diablo Country Club when they were playing.
Good.
Literally, the ball was facing the other way multiple times.
It was a joke.
Multiple times.
It was a joke. Hop, step, quick shuffle.
Yeah.
Boom. You could literally call. It's like holding in the NFL. You can call it every play.
You
can call traveling every possession. But you got to stop picking and choosing when you're calling travels.
Mm-hmm.
Like the 10-second travel of Stephen Curry. In that game, it was an appropriate call.
Yeah.
In that game, because of the way you called it. But you got to call it on both sides.
Both sides.
You got to call it on both sides. And you got to do it. You can't just pick this superstar because he's humble. But Luka's out here crying left and right, and you're missing blatant travels.
And Luka, you talk about complaining. I mean, that guy, he literally follows around the ref when he doesn't have the ball.
James Harden, you saw how compromised he was once they started enforcing the travels and the carries or whatnot. He's borderline unplayable at times.
No.
Because he can't dribble now.
Exactly.
So I this traveling thing.
I will
and the
say,
fact that they sent the memo the second week of the season.
Bizarre.
That was a joke.
Bizarre. And I don't think it's a coincidence that nationally televised game, okay, this is our opportunity to show the world we're going to start calling these things.
Right.
I don't think Indiana, Orlando are getting called that much. I will say this, and I won't say it's the last time I'll drop Steve Kerr, but it's the second to last. It might be the last time. But he did say he didn't think that any of those travels that were called on the Warriors were incorrect.
Right.
I think he said maybe one. He did not, just for everybody out there listening, he did not include the last one on Steph, which I thought was okay because Steph didn't his pivot foot, his heel lifted, but his foot didn't go off the ground.
No, it didn't. By the way, Alan, never apologize for flexing. That's what we do on this show.
Fair enough.
Have you heard Shasky and I
that's true.
flex? I mean, Shasky is texting people during the show trying to flex.
Well, one of the days I did the pregame show, I was leaving, so I had you guys fired up. And in the first couple of minutes, what I hear out of your mouth, so E40 texts me.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do.
All right. I'm riding then. I'm riding.
Yeah, I talked to Steve Kerr yesterday. By the way, I talked to this guy yesterday. Oh, I'm going to drop a random country club that I worked at back in the day who Steph Curry shot a 62 at. I'm just saying. You need to flex. That's what we do on the roast. Let's go to Ryan in Oakland. Ryan, what's happening?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. I just wanted to touch a little bit on the inconsistencies around the league with the discontinued dribbles. I was watching the Heat-Boston game the other day, and it was a great game, right?
Right.
I don't know if you guys saw that game, but
Yeah, that's when Tatum dropped 49, right?
yeah, that game. And I noticed that Adebayo, all the offense goes through him all game long, and anytime he's dribbling, he's doing the discontinued dribbles. Anytime he stops or stutters his feet, it's almost every single time down the floor when he's dribbling the ball. Now, did it affect the game? Did it affect the outcome? No. Celtics still won by 12 or 13 points, but it was a lot more fun to watch than seeing the whistle blow and the ball get turned over and over again throughout a game. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I think about the last 3 minutes of the third quarter of that Dallas Warriors game. A complete circus act.
It was not aesthetically pleasing.
No, that's one way to put it. I was just
What are we
calling
doing?
it a joke.
Yeah.
What are we doing? You got a great game, a nice flow to it. Guys are out there hooping. Luka's going at Steph. Steph's going at the Mavericks. You're trying to figure out, Klay Thompson's trying to figure it out. Kuminga's having the game of the season. And all of a sudden, the last 3 minutes, you're going to start blowing whistles. Guys are flying all over the floor. Let's clean it up, please. The best thing about officials is when I walk out of a game and I don't even know the officials' names. Instead, midway through the second quarter, so it's John Goble today. Oh, wait, it's Scott Foster.
Right.
Oh, wait, it's Tony Brothers. Oh, wait, it's that clown Mark Davis.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to know the official's name. I don't even want to talk about them. Clean it up.
It wasn't great. And again, nationally televised game. I just have to think that was connected to it as well. And that's the thing. You focus on it here, and that's what Steve Kerr has been preaching.
Right.
Just make it, just be consistent with it, and they haven't been consistent. And the book is out on Jordan Poole. And my question is this. I didn't get to ask Steve Kerr yesterday, but my question is this. when you get to practice now, are you going to, when they're running motions and scrimmages, things like that in practice, are they going to, hey, Jordan, that's a travel.
Yeah,
you got to
start bringing in referees, high school referees, and
just
stuff.
be extra hard on them because to get rid of it because it's muscle memory.
Yep,
You're not just going to forget. Okay, I got to stop doing that. I mean, James Harden, his career completely changed.
Right, no doubt.
For other reasons as well, but that didn't help.
Well, 651 on the Xfinity Mobile text line said that Chris Paul's career may change.
Man,
we don't need to go there. We
got to get some confirmation. Today will be interesting.
All right, shameless shout-outs coming up.
You ain't trying.
Oh, man, I don't subscribe to that one. 745.
I have a wife.
745. Shameless shout-outs. Shameless shout-out 745. I'm sure you know what shameless shout-outs is, Alan. We're going to shout out anything you want, anybody you want, your mom, your country club, Steve Kerr, who you talk to.
There you go.
Over and over. Shout out anybody. 745. High school football championships. You got basketball season in play. I know volleyball season was over. Shameless shout-out 745. We'll do that. Line them up here as we're going to continue to roll. We'll do a little more Warriors and then let's shift gears to talk some Niners football. We got a big game on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
It's a huge, huge game happening at Levi Stadium, and that's coming up next, brought to you by Bed Bath & Beyond.
Hey, here's a holiday gift from Bed Bath & Beyond. Now through December 11th, get 25% off one item by texting GIFT to 239663. That's 239663. New offers every day at Bed Bath & Beyond. Exclusions apply. See website for details.
I know you love sports, and I know you love 95.7 The Game. So let the Gay Area know that you roast with us at 95.7 The Game by shopping and getting some of our sweet tees and sweatshirts. Go check it out on 957thegameshop.com.
No one knows where this market will go. Things could change tomorrow, next week, or next month. At Merrill, we've been here before, and history shows this is the time to stay focused on your future. Because through every market, the bull will always have your back. Find an advisor in the Bay Area at ml.com/bullish.
Merrill, a Bank of America company. What would you like the power to do?
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, registered broker-dealer, registered investment advisor. Member SIPC, a wholly owned subsidiary of Bank of America Corp.
Attention passengers, this is your pilot speaking. Looks like we're gonna have to land immediately. And hurry to the Xfinity Black Friday sale. Folks, we've got clear skies and lots of binge watching ahead. Stream your heart out when you get the ultimate streamer setup. We'll be cruising in so new Xfinity customers can get 400 megabit internet with unlimited data and X-Fi Complete for just $55 a month for 2 years with no annual contract. And a free 4K streaming box included. Plus, for a limited time, get HBO Max included for 1 year. So, sit back and relax with internet made for streaming and access to classic favorites. Flight attendants, prepare for binge watching.
Drop everything and get to the Xfinity Black Friday sale now through December 5th. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Ad-supported plan of HBO Max. After promo, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you that money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types qualify, including those who took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help your business too. Just go to GetRefunds.com and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com. That's GetRefunds.com.
This holiday season, tee it up at the Golf Mart for the hottest gifts from Callaway and Bushnell. Receive up to $50 off Callaway Rogue ST Woods. And while you're there, grab a dozen Callaway Chrome Soft golf balls. And from Bushnell, save up to $75 on the Tour V5 and Tour V5 Shift rangefinders. There's also gift cards for those favorite golfers on your list. Don't miss these holiday gifts and more happening now at the Golf Mart, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to dissipate heat and reduce friction and wear. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $33.99. Try Syntec today, exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Join us at Odyssey as we do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. This holiday season, invest in some LED Christmas lights. They use significantly less energy than regular bulbs. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code JOY at checkout. That's harrys.com, code JOY. Enjoy.
I gotta hide the ugly.
Woohoo! What's going on, Bay Area? It's your boy, Chewy Gomez from 102 Jams. Listen to me every day, 3 to 7, playing your best hip-hop and throwbacks. Now back to my boys, Bonte and Shasky, right here on 95.7 The Game.
Wow, we got Chewy. Man, that's Bay Area royalty right there. 102.9 The Jams. Well, not 102.9.
Isn't that 106?
No, that's KBLX. Yeah. My bad.
I did listen to a lot of 102.9 coming up.
It's KBLX. Wrong
102.1.
102.1 is what I meant to say. Remember, we used to be in the other building with KBLX. KBLX and Q102 used to be right next to each other. So they're long gone. It's my boy Chewy, 102.1.
Shout out Chewy.
Yeah, shout out Chew Dog. Chew Dog. Big time Raider fan. Raiders got a good win. Raiders got a good win last week. Good for them. By the way, YouTube, Twitch, Xfinity mobile text line. Shout out to you guys. You guys are always rocking with us. Download the Odyssey app, 95.7 The Game. Thousands of other stations and millions of podcasts are free on the Odyssey app, and you can catch every single Warriors game live on the app, along with all the music and news the Bay Area needs. Alan Stiles doing a phenomenal job in place of Joe Shasky, the butcher. He has a day off, but I can guarantee one thing, Spadoni Lovin'. Shasky's listening. Odyssey app is on. YouTube is on. He's tapping in. He knows what's going on. He suffers from big-time FOMO. Big-time FOMO. Oh, yeah. He'll be back Monday, though. He'll be back for the Rice interview at 8:30. Sorry, Alan. You won't get that on the resume.
No
You won't be able to name drop. You won't be able to name drop. Lead after
I'm going to ride the Steve Kerr one for a while, so I think I'm solid.
You won't be able to do that. Unless Shasta calls it sickening. Hey, Alan, you want to talk to Jerry Rice? You can name drop him all week long. Let's go to Austin in the Bay. He's got one last thought on the Golden State Warriors. Then let's shift gears to the 49ers. It's a big game Sunday. We were talking about this before the show. Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniel, Kyle Shanahan, Jimmy Garoppolo. I want to get your thoughts on Jimmy Garoppolo because I've come full circle, man.
Oh, I know. I got something for you.
Do you now? Austin in the Bay. Austin, what's happening, man? You're on the roast.
No, much just gassed up. How y'all doing this morning?
Oh, man, it's a Friday, baby. A 50-cent Friday.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, look, payday for me. Hey, this what I got for you is carrying and traveling, man. Hey, I remember when Allen Iverson first came into the league, when, rocked Jordan to sleep, and then Jordan, tapped in with the referees. Hey, we got to get rid of that, man. We got to get rid of that. Y'all can't have me looking bad out here. I feel like Jordan Poole needs to tap in with Allen Iverson this offseason and put some moves together and get his weight up. He can be an Allen Iverson. Man, yeah, that's all I got. So what y'all thinking about that?
Yeah, I mean, that would be cool, but Allen Iverson started getting picked on, too, by the rest if you watch the Donahue doc. I just think, just play. As long as Poole just plays, he'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, I do think, though, to the caller's point, I do think that Jordan Poole, he's really close in terms of his handles.
Right.
And it could be an Allen Iverson that can put him over the top just for some finishing moves. Right. Because let's be honest.
Well, he's got Steph Curry on the roster.
He's got Steph Curry on the roster, so that obviously helps. Who, by the way, this whole Kyrie has the best handles, and it's not close. He's got better handles than AI. Steph Curry, he's underrated. I think people have come full circle on his ability to finish at the hoop.
Right.
We need to respect Steph Curry's handles because I don't think they're respected enough. And if you want to say that Kyrie has the best handles, that's fine.
Right.
But Steph, the gap is not as big as everybody wants to make it.
I mean, we're forgetting about Tim Hardaway Sr.
Right.
We're forgetting about Rod Strickland.
But that's what I've said about Kyrie. He wears his pants a little baggier, so it just reminds people of
recency
and one.
bias.
It reminds people of and one. They think he's hot sauce.
His handles are sick.
They
I'll give
are.
him
They're
that.
crazy.
They're
crazy.
crazy good. But like they hype him up like we've never seen it before.
Right.
I've seen people dribble like
as far as Jordan Poole is concerned, if we're being honest with ourselves, he's really got one really good move. It's the in-and-out dribble.
Right.
That's what he's got.
In-and-out is nasty.
It's nasty, but at some point, you're going to have to add to your repertoire, and maybe AI could do that. But to your point, Steph, can I get in the lab with you? Can we work on some things?
And I think he is. And I think he's working out some things. I think he'll figure it out. Straight line drives, the hezzy,
And
the
just
in-and-out
go.
dribble, and just go. And he'll be fine. I'm not too concerned about Jordan Poole yet. If it happens in the next 20, we'll see. But Jordan Poole should be fine moving forward. Just shot selection, the same thing we talked about with Klay Thompson. Shot selection, knowing when to go, knowing when to not over-dribble, and the pacing. When he gets in trouble, he's moving too fast.
Right.
It's got to be like jazz, right? When Steph Curry's moving around and he's coming off those screens, it's like jazz music, right? It's just so smooth. Jordan Poole right now is just like, it's rock and roll. It's mumble rap.
Well, you know what it is? Sometimes with Jordan Poole, it's when you're playing beginner on Guitar Hero.
Right.
Sometimes you accidentally hit expert.
Right.
That when Jordan Poole's, I don't even know what I'm doing here, man.
Well, it sounds like me in a yoga class a couple weeks ago.
Oh, man.
They were like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and I'm trying to do the stuff level 4. Like, no. You're level 1, dude. You don't need to do all that stuff.
Nah,
and I'm
man.
like, yeah, I get it.
That was a pandemic thing for me. I tried it with the wifey, and it ended in about 2 months.
By the way, shameless shout-outs. I want to hear about shameless shout-out. Shameless shout-out, 745. Shameless shout-out, 745. Line them up. I want to hear about your shout-outs. I got a couple shout-outs. I know you got some shout-outs. Spinoni has some shout-outs. Lubman always has a shout-out. Is he shouting out the Miami Hurricanes football season? Lubman's been in the fog lately, man. We got to tell you, man. Lubman, he usually come in here every break. But since the Hurricanes struggled so bad, the boy's been depressed. We got to pick him up.
Don't turn it around.
You know
I'm
what
not
we
worried.
need? You know what we need for Lubman? We need Aaron Judge. We need Aaron Judge bad.
Quick.
Fast in a hurry. Guys going to Cal games Thanksgiving weekend.
Don't do that. That's not going to make you feel any better.
No, it's not.
I mean, by the way, Cal Stanford, what are we doing, man?
I don't know. Go ahead, Lovin. Jump in here.
I'm optimistic about the Hurricanes' future. So, no, I'll be out of the fog soon, especially once Aaron Judge signs next week. So, good times are ahead.
Good times are ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Cal basketball, I don't think they've won a game yet.
No.
What?
Jerseys look good, though. Still got Jordan for now.
They haven't won a game yet.
Yeah.
Poor Cal. Stafford, all right, back to the Niners. Big game on Sunday. Garoppolo and company taking on the Miami Dolphins. Big game. Niners 7-4. Dolphins 8-3. Levi Stadium, and a lot of people are thinking Niners have to have this one because they haven't beaten anybody. My question to you, Alan, because I know you got something for me about Jimmy Garoppolo. Which team needs this win more? We saw Buffalo last night win. They're threatening the AFC East once again, trying to win their third straight division title. Or do the Niners need this one to stay above Seattle and keep the heat on the Seahawks to make them keep pace with the 49ers?
I definitely think that the Dolphins need this game more, simply because of what you said with the Bills and just the AFC in general. It's going down in the AFC. The NFC, it's a bit of a mess. It's the battle of the mediocre, and I think that as much as Geno, I love the Geno story. I know it's Niners all day, but I love the Geno story. They wrote me off, but I didn't write back. That's one of the best bars I've ever heard in my life.
That's amazing.
But I don't necessarily believe in the Seahawks down the stretch. And I think that the Niners, if they were to drop this game, it's an AFC opponent. You still have the tiebreaker.
Not the worst thing in the world.
Not the worst thing in the world. And I believe the Seahawks have the Rams this weekend, so you think that's going to be a dub. Then you're going to have to face off against them anyway. So I think that the Dolphins definitely need this, and the Dolphins need this as well because they're still trying to show that they are for real. Right. I mean, if you look at who they've played in the past, I mean, the defenses that they've played in this 5-game win streak that they've had. The 25th, the 32nd, that would be the last. The 20th, the 18th, and the 29th ranked defenses in the league. And the 18th, which was the best defense, was the Browns with Jacoby Brissett.
Right.
So they have not really played. This is a big test for them with Tua. We know that the games that they've lost, they haven't had Tua either for the whole game or not the full game. But I think the Dolphins need this to show what they can do because I mean, it's going to get cold. I know the Bay Area, it's not going to be the coldest weather, but you're going to have to go up to Buffalo at some point.
New England.
Right? And you have an opportunity against the number one defense to show everyone what you can do. Tua, people still don't believe in Tua. They still think it's Tyreek Hill and, they're working around Tua. Both these quarterbacks, you could argue, this is an opportunity for both of them to quiet the naysayers, but I think the Dolphins need this game more.
You're looking at the Dolphins schedule: San Francisco, Chargers, Buffalo. 3 straight road games. 3 straight road games. And they played Buffalo. I believe that game was moved to a Saturday night. Then they got Green Bay at home, who, let's face it, they're a joke this year.
Chargers are getting healthy, too.
Chargers are getting healthy. That's no easy game. No easy game whatsoever. Then New England, which is never easy in New England, against that defense. And then they finish the season facing the New York Jets and that defense. So Niners defense going to be on full display because as much as you can talk about the Dolphins playing against porous defenses, how about the Niners playing against porous offenses?
Right. I mean,
Cardinals,
that's
Colt
what
McCoy. The Rams with Stafford and Cooper Kupp and no offensive line. You think about last week in the Saints and Andy Dalton. Now, they're beating them. They're pounding these teams. But this offense is going to present challenges to this defense, and they haven't seen an offense like this probably since Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes.
This is an opportunity for both teams. And I think that as much as, you think, okay, can the Niners slow down the Dolphins enough? You also have to score. So we know about the Niners defense. The Dolphins defense is basically middle of the pack. Right. But here's the thing. The Niners secondary is basically middle of the pack. And the fact that they're number 11, so a little bit better than middle of the pack, but that's because you got that front seven coming at you.
And as long as you get pressure on Tua, you will be able to thrive. And that's the key to this game. So can Bosa dominate? Can Armstead, who, by the way, may play on Sunday, he's aiming to play, can he dominate? Can Fred Warner Jr. dominate the middle of the field alongside Drake Greenlaw? That's the key. That's the key to me. Shut down the middle of the field and hit Tua over and over and over again because they're missing their top offensive lineman in Terran Armstead.
Exactly. So Niners 11th in passing yards allowed. Miami 2nd in passing yards, period. So we've been what's going to win, the good defense or the good offense? I should say great on both sides. I think it's going to come down to Kyle Shanahan and how much, and I, just lead into it right now, how much he trusts your boy, Jimmy G.
Hey, this flew under the radar yesterday. Jimmy Garoppolo was discussing his offseason yesterday with the press, and he admitted something. He admitted something that kind of piqued my interest.
Yeah, I mean, they were in a conversation. Not much came from it, but they were definitely one of the teams in the conversation. Seemed like a good spot as an offense. That's tremendous skill players, everything they got going over there. Mike, being a great coach, had been with him in the past year, and it was discussed. But I'm glad the way things worked out.
That team that was discussed were the Miami Dolphins. Mike McDaniel and company were in the conversation. Jimmy Garoppolo at South Beach, Miami. He ain't taking no L's. They could have finished 3-13, 3-14. He still would have been winning.
He's having a good time out there. That is interesting. I mean, that's not really surprising. I mean, Mike McDaniel, he's been grabbing everybody. He's been grabbing everybody for the Niners.
Right.
He's trying to do, exactly what the Niners have done. You got the 2 running backs, Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr. You got Sherfield out there. So that's not really surprising. But I mean, it would have been an interesting fit. And now you have 2 guys who, when you talk about the air yards, or is it the offense, or is it yak? Is it the weapons, or is it the point guard? And I think both these guys are probably a little bit underrated in that regard. I think Tua, being younger, is still trying to prove himself a little bit more. But I think Jimmy, I mean, let's not forget, I know Mostert tried to walk it back. Well, I was actually talking about my guy slinging it. I wasn't talking about Jimmy. Stop it.
Yeah.
What did Draymond say?
Right.
Stand on your word, brother.
Stand on your word, brother.
Stand on your word.
You
said what you said.
You said what you said.
Okay. Now we're going to see about this action.
You see how he tried to walk it back, though? He said, whose wedding did he go to? Was it Jimmy's brother? Yeah. He said he went to his wedding and whatnot. Right. Jimmy gets shot. He gets shade thrown at him all the time. Look, Jimmy Garoppolo, as long as he doesn't turn the ball over, which he didn't do last week, got away with the interception. Ray-Ron McCloud, illegal contact. Hey, you bring it back. As long as Jimmy doesn't turn the ball over, the Niners will be in position. But this feels like a game. And by the way, we got news with Christian McCaffrey yesterday. Said he's playing. Said he feels great. So that's a big boost to this offense. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. These are weapons that Miami possibly hasn't seen yet. Cleveland has some weapons. Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper. They haven't played Buffalo since September. If the Niners are clicking on offense, this is a game where I feel like they could get back on track and get to that 30-point mark, because Jimmy is not turning the ball over. Jimmy is playing good football. Now, Miami's going to blitz, and blitz even more. Can Jimmy beat the blitz? And I think he does well against the blitz historically as a 49er. Not necessarily this season, but historically for the 49ers, Jimmy's been good against the blitz.
And when you are going to blitz, it's good to have probably the best escape valve in football in Christian McCaffrey. And when you talk about, we haven't seen
Debo.
and Debo. So when you talk about, the Jimmy no throw, we haven't seen that, because instead of the Jimmy no throw, you have, let me find Christian McCaffrey. Let's just get these 10 yards and keep it moving. And that's what they've been doing. So I think that if you want to blitz, you better find a way to cover Christian McCaffrey as well, because he will torch you all day long if you do that. And like you said, Debo as well. And again, these guys, are you ready to tackle George Kittle?
Right.
Are you ready to tackle Deebo Samuel? Because they are looking for contact. And I don't care what you said, Raheem Mostert. These guys, this man, George Kittle, was walking around with the Jimmy G for President shirt on. Right. And you're talking about his guy. You don't think, and I know that they would never say this, it doesn't change anything. You don't think they're going to be running just a little bit harder? You don't think they're going to be lowering that shoulder just a little bit lower? Okay. And coming at my guy?
And Miami's, they've been cocky. Jeff Wilson Jr. been chirping a little bit.
You know what? They kind of
Raheem
remind
Mostert, chirping a little bit. Tyreek Hill, we know he'll throw up the deuces.
Always.
You know what I'm saying? He's always chirping.
Yeah.
They got some cockiness to him. They could get humbled on Sunday.
Is it crazy for me to say, simply because of the social media stuff, you know what, Bonte? They give me Grizzlies vibes.
Oh,
just not obviously not the rivalry, but we're talking a lot. We're right on Twitter right after the game. I mean, Tyreek Hill, he might have his phone on the bench with him,
right? No doubt.
Quick as he tweets.
That's a good call, because they haven't won anything. You haven't won a division title.
You haven't won anything.
We don't even know if you're going to the playoffs this season, right? Because that 3-game stretch coming up, Niners, Chargers, and Bills. Find me a 3-game stretch that's tougher than that one for any team in the league this season.
Yeah.
I mean, that is brutal. All on the road, and they're going to be staying away. I think they're going to stay in California after the game, do what the Niners do. Mostert's going to get popped. Now, he was doubtful last week. He didn't play. I heard Mike McDaniels Wednesday at his presser saying that Mostert's probably going to be a go. It's going to be a physical football game.
Yeah.
And he knows that Warner, Greenlaw, Bosa brings their big boy Pats to the table.
And I think that I believe I heard that one of the reasons Mostert didn't play last week, he wanted to make sure he was ready for this. He wanted to make sure he was ready for this.
He wanted this game. He circled this game. So NRG manifests Grizzlies not a real rival, but Taker said it's not Grizzlies vibes. It's Phoenix Suns vibes.
Oh, that's a slight to the Dolphins, in my opinion, because the Suns, they're out here working out after games.
Yeah,
Just
winners
stop
work.
It. Just stop
winners
it.
work.
Just stop
winners
it,
work.
man.
And my boy D. Lee hitting the push-ups, man. By the way, Jimmy Garoppolo's knee, how does it feel?
How's your knee feel?
Feels great. Feels great, baby. No, it's coming along. Yeah, feel pretty good with it.
Feels great, baby. And I feel great about Jimmy, Allen. I feel great about Jimmy right now.
You know, I'm sitting here.
Shameless shout-outs in 10 minutes, by the way.
I don't know.
Shout-outs.
I don't know if it was last week or the week before, whenever it was. And I'd see on social media, I open my phone and I see you and Shasky with these apology notes and saying, "I'm sorry, Jimmy. I thought you were a game manager," and this, that, the third. I'm thinking, Bonte, what are you apologizing for? I mean, I feel like we've been on the same page with Jimmy. He is a good quarterback. He is limited. He is a good quarterback. Now he's got Christian McCaffrey. To me, I know his numbers are better. He has been playing well. Don't get me wrong. He's 2019 Jimmy with Christian McCaffrey. Let me tell you something right now. Christian McCaffrey had 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards in one season with the Panthers.
He pulled the Roger Craig.
You know who his quarterback was? Kyle Allen, who I just found out was in the league, was still in the league a week ago.
Yeah, he's playing with the Texans. That's right, backing up Davis Mills.
So you're sitting here apologizing to Jimmy for having what's the graphic we put up, Bonte? It's the it's the graphic from Marvel.
When he wins?
No, with Shanahan.
Oh yeah.
You got all the different rings.
Yeah. He's Thanos.
He's Thanos. With all the rings.
Yeah.
So how can you have all that, all the gemstones, and you're apologizing to Jimmy? This is what he's supposed to do. How many quarterbacks wouldn't be doing what Jimmy's doing?
Let me ask you something.
Come on now.
Down the stretch of the NFC. Outside of Brady, who you taking over Jimmy?
Right now?
Yeah, right now in the NFC.
In the NFC. Ooh.
Oh, you taking Jalen Hurts?
Well,
Hurts playing at MVP level. You taking Dak Prescott?
So but to me, I don't know if that's a straw man or whatever the term is, because that doesn't change how I feel about Jimmy, though. There's just a bunch of mediocre quarterback play in the NFC.
It is a lot of mediocre.
And Jimmy's been playing well, not mediocre.
Jimmy's been playing well. One interception in the last 5 games? Last 4, I know. Last 5. I'm apologizing because I basically ran this guy out of town. We all did.
Shanahan ran him out of town.
I know that. But I can't blame Shanahan because the Roasters and the Jackals will get me. I have a problem with Shanahan, but I'm going to back up because some people think I personally hate Shanahan, and I don't. I don't hate Shanahan at all. But the standard we have for quarterback in San Francisco, the standard we have for wide receiver in this market, it's the same standard for head coach. Bill Walsh, George Seifert, Mooch, Harbaugh. You want to go back to Dick Nolan? Fine. The standard is just as high for head coach as it is for quarterback. So I'm not even going to get started on that. But, yeah, everybody's ran Jimmy out of town. And I thought, just cut this guy. Cut this guy. What are you doing for Trey Lance? And the fact that we're here in 2022 talk about Jimmy, but I had to apologize to him. I said, you know what? You're playing well. I feel confident. I feel good about where his game is at. The team is rallying around him. Chris McCaffrey does help. That outlet. I mean, thank God for CMC. But I had to apologize to him. I got to ride with him.
You know what I'm apologizing?
We want to parade down Market Street, right, Alan?
That's when I'm apologizing. When I'll apologize, I'll yell it to him, Jimmy, I'm sorry, at the parade. That's what I'll do. Not a minute sooner. We've seen this before.
You're not going to do it at the NFC Championship?
No.
You're not going to do it when they clinch the division title?
Absolutely not.
Oh man.
Look at the weapons, man. Who has a better? You know
this
what?
Is the best. set of weapons he's ever had in San Francisco.
I mean,
no doubt.
they're ridiculous. What team has a better set of weapons than the Niners?
In the NFC?
There's not. I mean, in the NFL, there are not three teams with better weaponry than the Niners.
I like Phillies.
Okay.
When they get Dallas Goedert back, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Miles Sanders, not bad.
Okay.
Cowboys, Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, Schultz. I'll take the Niners' weapons.
I mean the Dolphins.
The Dolphins have good weapons, but I would take CMC over any one of their running backs.
Right. No, I mean, you got Bills and Chiefs. Bills and Chiefs. But my point is, the Niners are up there.
Raiders.
Stop that.
Renfro Waller coming back next week.
Are they? Are they? We've been waiting.
According to sources, Alan. Back to the Niners.
Let Spinoni get his time. He's feeling good. They beat Seattle. Josh Jacobs. Then they'll lose to the Chargers on Sunday in heartbreaking fashion.
That's what the Chargers do in Vegas, lest you forget last year.
Hey, listen. The Raiders will lose on Sunday. Spinoni won't mention the Raiders for 10 days. That's just how it goes.
It's a vicious cycle.
I feel bad for him, man. I want to hug him right now. Shameless shout-outs, 5 minutes. Line them up, 888-957-9570.
Don't need your fake sympathy.
888-957-9570. Darren Waller might be checked out for the season. 888-957-9570. Shameless shout-outs. If you want to get on here, we'll read your texts. We'll read your comments on YouTube, the Xfinity mobile text line. Any shout-out you want. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm not trolling with the Jimmy love. I'm here for it. I'm back because at one point, Alan, as we get ready for Dolphins Niners, Joe Rose is going to join us at 8 o'clock. Joe Rose been covering the Dolphins for years down in Miami. I was the biggest Jimmy Garoppolo fan possible. When Tom Brady became available, I said, no. You don't need Brady. You got Jimmy. I was there. I was on that train. I was on that train, Alan. And things happen. You go down to the NFC Championship game at SoFi Stadium, and it's so bad that I'm walking around SoFi Stadium with Shasky's buddy Rocco. We see Charles Haley after the game. We got to pick up Charles Haley. He's so damn depressed. Yeah. And I'm looking at Jimmy thinking, damn, we had no shot in that 2-minute drill. No shot whatsoever. Hell, Troy Aikman said it on the broadcast. The line of the year. When Troy Aikman, with 5 minutes left, said, Joe, the Rams defense has done a good job of shutting down the Niners run game. And I'm afraid, keywords, I'm afraid it's going to come down to Jimmy Garoppolo.
Man. I mean, look.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid again. I have no choice.
No, you have no choice.
Spinoni, where's Michelle Shasky? We don't have a choice right now than to rally around Jimmy Garoppolo. So I'm going to rally around him. I'm not going to beat him up over the head because you shouldn't even be here, to be honest.
But I'm not saying don't rally. I'm saying I'm not the apology is what had me double blinking my eyes, trying to. What am I seeing here, man?
Well, this is what you're seeing. In the last 5 games, 1,228 yards, 9 touchdown passes, 1 interception. That's what you're seeing. I gotta apologize. I gotta stand back. That's player of the month stats right there.
Come on now.
Hey, Alan, you didn't like that. Hey, those are player of the month stats there.
Those are fine stats. We're acting like he's and I get it. And I get it. The offense isn't set up for him to put up crazy numbers. To me, Bonte, again, and maybe it's not fair. I just feel like with these weapons, I think Jimmy's a good quarterback. So a good quarterback with great weapons should play pretty darn well. And that's what he's doing. Yeah. And again, Jimmy without Christian McCaffrey, I don't know if he can win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
but Jimmy with Christian McCaffrey, he can win a Super Bowl, and that's not a slight at Jimmy.
And that trade changed everything.
Everything.
You're absolutely spot on with that. CMC doing things with the Niners. Real quick on Tua and a quick explosive passing game. DeMeco Ryans had a couple quotes about that before we get to shameless shout-outs. DeMeco Ryans, defensive coordinator for the 49ers. We'll see how long that title holds up for DeMeco Ryans. Here's what he had to say about Tua and the Dolphins' quick, explosive passing game.
Tua is very efficient at not only getting the ball out quick, but the accuracy and the way he delivers the ball, that allows the offense to be as efficient as they are. And you add the playmakers in that he has with 10, 17, 31, like those guys all have elite speed and big-time playmaking ability where they can take an intermediate throw and they can make a guy miss and go to the house. Not all offenses have that, and I think that's where this offense really lights it up, because each throw, it doesn't have to be a 50-yard bomb down the field. It can be a screen behind the line of scrimmage, and these guys have the speed and the playmaking ability to make guys miss and go to the house.
All right, here's what he had to say about Tyreek Hill.
His speed is just different from anybody you've seen in the NFL, right? There's fast guys in the NFL, but then there's Tyreek speed, and it's just on another level, right? Nobody runs as fast as him. Nobody can, the routes that he's able to run, right? He's like behind the line of scrimmage, and he's able to run deep routes from there. Like it's impressive, right? It's impressive, and it's a special talent that he has. No one else in the league has that ability that Tyreek has. His ability to separate. And not only is just his speed, but he is very strong. When he gets the ball in his hand, he is a very strong runner, and he can bounce off of tackles and make guys miss.
You better tackle, Allen. You better tackle this joker because he's a problem.
He is. I mean, Olympic speed, man. Olympic speed.
Wow.
And
we saw it in the Super Bowl 54.
Right. And you know what? What's going to happen is here's the question. Obviously, they don't want to get beat over the top. The Niners don't want to get beat over the top. But the thing is, if you play too soft, right? I like these teams because they both play what I call backyard football. I was in the Turkey Bowl on Thanksgiving, Bonte, 7 touchdowns. I balled out. Did you see me? Did you happen to see me?
I saw you play them. Those dudes looked a little washed.
That was the last game, by the way.
Some of those dudes look like me out there trying to guard you.
That was the last game, by the way.
We got Alan Styles, who's a former athlete, baseball player at Temple University, playing against some dudes working. Who's the last time those guys worked out? Your buddies.
Look, that was the last game. It didn't look as good. I should have had the videographer earlier. But, they both these teams play backyard football. The Niners get the ball into the hands of your best player. Let's ride. Let's do it. And the Dolphins do the same thing. That's why I think it's such an even matchup. So the question is, in terms of the Niners secondary, you don't want to get beat over the top. But if you're too soft in your coverage, they're still going to
burn you.
They're still going to get 10, 20 yards, on the slant routes and things like that. So D'Amico Ryans has some decisions. He likes to dial up the pressure on third down as well. You better get to Tua.
You better get to
Tua.
Because
we're on the morning roast. You're going to get roasted.
Right. Yeah.
If you don't get to him.
That's the key right there. Just get to Tua. If Bosa wants DPOY, these are the games you got to step up for.
Exactly.
These are the games you have to go out there and dominate, like you did late in the game against the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. You have to get Tua on the ground. You got to fluster him. He's not the most mobile quarterback. His footwork is great. I've loved Tua, but get to him. Get to him, and hit these guys. Even when they do catch it, you got to smack them. This is where Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner Jr., in the middle of the field, you got to set a tone.
Right.
You may get penalized one time. You got to set a tone against these young, quick, because we haven't even talked about Jalen Waddle, who's
exactly
as well. Let's get to shameless shout-outs, man. We're a couple minutes late here. Alan, shameless shout-outs coming up here on the Morning Roast.
It's Friday.
Yeah, I'm a shameless, horrible human being.
Your chance to shamelessly shout out whoever or whatever you want.
I need to shout out somebody. I forget their names. They would know who I am if they're listening.
It's time for shameless shout-outs on the Morning Roast.
What? All right, Alan. You're a guest. You're filling in for Joe Shasky, the Butcher.
Yeah.
You get the first shout out here on this 50 Cent Friday.
All right. So my shout out goes out to, I'm just going to go classic, but it's for a good reason. I'm going to shout out my mom because, she retired a couple years back. She was a postal inspector, worked for the government. So once you retire, you just kind of kick it. So my little sister, she's been in a lot of different, she does a lot of acting. So she was in Bumblebee. You've probably seen her on different commercials, things like that. So my mom has gotten into acting as well. Wow. And now she's an extra on a new holiday movie on HBO Max, Holiday Harmony.
Wow.
So look out for Lou Styles on Holiday Harmony. They show her twice. She came over for Thanksgiving. She made us watch the movie after Thanksgiving meal. We saw her twice. We started yelling, probably woke up the neighbors. So shout out my mom. Holiday Harmony, go check it out and check out my mom. At the end scene, you'll see her a couple times.
That's the biggest shout out flex we've ever had on this show. That's pretty. Hey, Spinoni and Lubman, you guys go next. I'm not following that up. I'm good. I got nothing on that.
All right, I'll take on the follow-up here. I'm going to shout out my guy, Pat Moore. I had some issues with my car last week, and Pat, he owns his own business called P&M Mobile out of his garage in Martinez. He's a friend of the family, so I needed some repairs done on my car, and being that he has his own shop, he's able to get parts at a much discounted rate.
Love that.
And then he worked on my car, got it all fixed up, and saved me a big chunk of change in the process. So thanks a lot, Pat, for taking care of my car. Really do appreciate it, because I'm kind of nothing without that bad boy, so need to get from A to B.
I love that. Spinoni, what you got?
These are all nice and personal and stuff, but shout out Josh Jacobs, running back of the Las Vegas Raiders, AFC Offensive Player of the Week, having the greatest FU season currently in the NFL. The guy's going to get paid. Roll Tide. Shout out Josh Jacobs, even though he still have me blocked on Twitter. I still love you, Josh.
Why did he block you on Twitter?
I don't know. I think I responded with like a Gruden gif one time, and he didn't like it.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's not good. All right, I'll shout out to my in-laws, the Russians out there in the avenues, Alona, Oleg, and Bablik. You guys are hosting me because my 2 girls are at the house sick right now, Alan, so I had to stay at her parents' house to make sure I don't get anything. Shout out to them. Fed me last night. We were chilling, a lot of tea, a lot of cookies. They took care of me, so shout out to my Russian connection, Alona, Oleg, and Bablik.
Any like traditional Russian dishes that you're eating, like some stroganoff or something like that?
Oh, we had borscht.
Oh, nah.
That borscht with the sour cream. Yeah, I know. It's an acquired taste. But borscht was hitting. We had some macaroni and cheese. We had some the potato salad the Russian way, which is not bad at all. My mom likes it, believe it or not. So shout out to them. We got nothing on style, so I mean, she's mom became an actor, retired and said, "Oh, I'm just going to go into acting."
First family of Hollywood over here.
I mean, yeah, HBO Max, really? All right, let's go to the lines. Joe in San Francisco. Joe, kick us off, baby. What you got?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for having me. I want to give a shout out to my son, Luca Bear. He's going to be 7 on December 5th, and my birthday's on December 6th. He's the best birthday present I've ever had.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thanks for
That's beautiful, beautiful. 864 Xfinity mobile text line. Shout out to my newborn son, Thomas. That's been in Oakland. Carlos and Concord. Shout out to Argentina. We're winning it all. Winning it all in the World Cup. I can rock with Messi. You know, I'm rocking with Alan. I'm rocking with Brazil, France. I was rocking with Belgium. They got knocked out, so I'm not rocking with them anymore. Argentina. I'm just jumping on all the bandwagons.
I'm big Mbappe guy. Big Mbappe guy.
I'm big Mbappe.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he's a beast.
That's all I care
about. I got my PSG jersey. I shouldn't wear it. I should wear it next week. And then 510, shout out to Jonathan Kamiga for embracing his role and balling out within the Warrior system. Shout out to JK. And shout out to Jose who gave us a call. Jose, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Bonte? What's up, A-Styles?
What's up, baby?
First morning rose. First time caller. It's my birthday. I just want to.
His phone's fading in and out. Jose and Vallejo, call us back. Fix your reception. Let's go to Duke in the City. Duke in the City, what's happening?
Man, what's up, man? Y'all already know what time it is, man. Jimmy G, laser sharp, throwing nails like dart. Picasso painting, if you want to, you could call it an art. Man, I want to celebrate. My wife and I had our 15-year anniversary on the 30th, man, so...
Congratulations.
That, man. That was really, really big, man. You know what I mean? And then all our longshoremen that listen to the show, man. It's a short show, man. My boy, Big Lou, Big Bo, all the mechanics, all my people at Matson, man. Joe Shasky week was a blast. Then our YouTubers, man. My boy Drew Down and my boy Tyler Miller. All my YouTubers are natural born killers. I love y'all, man. Go Niners, go Warriors. Let's get this, baby. I love you, Ted, for what you're doing with your family, too, man. Keep doing what you're doing. That's huge. I love y'all.
Thank you, Duke. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. He's a roaster. Hell, his rap is in the intro of the show.
Yeah.
That's how big Duke is.
Bars.
And bars, too. Straight bars. You wouldn't expect that, huh? You wouldn't expect that at all. Tamir in Oakland. Tamir in Oakland, our main man out there in the town. What's up, Tamir?
Hey, what's up? I got to give a shout-out to Spadoni coming on the radio, giving a shout-out to the Raiders and stuff. I love it. And then a shout-out to my Tennessee basketball varsity when I first came in the tournament yesterday out in Dublin. So got to give a shout-out to them, too.
Love that. Love that. And finally, Anthony in Napa. Anthony in Napa. Who you shouting out today? Oh, wait. I got to pick up the phone call. That's my bad. Anthony, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Top of the morning to you. I want to shout out my wife, Shayna Love. She's 7.5 months pregnant, about to give me get our first baby girl together. So I want to shout her out, let her know I love her.
Absolutely. That's beautiful right there. Beautiful, beautiful addition to Shameless. Shout out to everybody out there getting to work. If you're at work, what is happening? Shout out. Shameless shout outs.
Mm-hmm.
And Alan takes the cakes. We should have made Alan just wait. We didn't know that was coming, man.
Shout out Oakland, California.
It just worked out that way. It just worked out that way.
No, shout out to your mom, man. That's big time, man. Let us know the film again.
Holiday Harmony. She's an extra, but you see her a couple times. It's nice.
Screen time.
Oh, yeah.
Screen time.
Gotta start
HBO
somewhere.
Max.
HBO Max.
People pay for that.
Hey, run the numbers up.
Run the numbers up, man.
Hey, Brooke Shields in it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Big Shields in it.
Wow.
You know?
Look at that.
I'm telling you, man.
Damn.
Styles Files. Styles Files. Joe Rose coming up, hosting the Joe Rose Show on WQAM in Miami. Former tight end for the Dolphins. Also caught the game-winning pass in the 79 big game to help Cal beat Stafford. Now he's calling games. He'll be out here in the Bay Area this weekend. But before we get to Joe Rose, it's time for a little injury report.
It's time for the injury report. That really hurt. Brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
Hey, Alan. Eric Armstead, remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Number 91? He's returning to the field. He's back.
Let's go.
After practicing for the third time this week, the Niners defensive tackle confirmed he will take the field Sunday for this. Oh my God! For this monster matchup,
that's huge
against the Miami Dolphins. He had various ankle and foot injuries. Also, CMC Christian McCaffrey expected to play Sunday, who sent the Niners fan base a scare while dealing with knee irritation. CMC was reportedly moving well without issue in practice, meaning he should be full go when the Niners take the field at Levi's. You going Sunday? You at Levi's?
I got post game.
Oh, you got post.
I got post game.
Duh.
You know?
I listen to you all the time coming out of the traffic. You sounded good on there too.
Appreciate
you guys carry out a tradition of overtime. It's a big time game. I can't wait. We're going to talk to Joe Rose coming up on the other side. The Injury Report brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. That's what's coming up on the game. Sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromises.
The Dolphins have scored 30 points or more in their last 4 games.
Wilson lead blockers, and he strolls in for the Dolphins touchdown.
However, they haven't faced Nick Bosa and the nasty Niners defense.
Play clock at 2. Dalton gets the shotgun snap. Dalton backside pressure. Bosa got him.
We're talking Niners Dolphins.
Talanoa Hufanga bats it out.
Right here on 95.7 The Game.
Universal Studios Hollywood is where the holidays come together. We've tested it. Festive food with refreshing Coca-Cola. Family, friends, and fa-la-la. Dazzling lights cranked up to maximum merriment. The Grinch and his dog Max stealing your tree. All the science adds up. It's the awesomest celebration of the season. Save $20 on a Coca-Cola 2-day general admission ticket. Offer ends 12/14/22. Restrictions apply. Details at universalstudioshollywood.com/Coke offer.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com/sports, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com/sports. That's getrefunds.com/sports.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for just $49.99 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, ask how to get up to a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle. Offer ends 12/5/2022. Restrictions apply. EcoBill and AutoPay required. New 50 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Mobile Savings compares pricing of top 3 carriers.
Locked On Warriors is a daily podcast covering your favorite team, the defending world champion Golden State Warriors. I'm your host, Cyrus Saatsaz, and every Monday through Friday, Locked On Warriors brings you all of the biggest Warriors stories in around 30 minutes. We cover Stephen Curry and the dynasty that is one of the greatest teams in the history of this beautiful game. Listen to the Locked On Warriors podcast every day on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So instead, we're going to hire a professional voice actor and pay him absurd amounts of money to say, "I like this product." Not sure why that was better. I mean, I'm a professional too, but we didn't pay him to say the business part, so back to me. Save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. Sorry, I know hearing me say it was a bit of a letdown. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
At the Home Depot, we have plenty of Christmas trees to make your holidays even more magical. Hundreds of full, easy-to-assemble artificial trees that look so real, you may be convinced they actually are. And for those who love that fresh pine smell, we have a parking lot full of fresh-cut trees to call your own. We'll even help you load your tree in the car so you can bring home the holidays. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your... so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast. Featuring
Fillmore's finest, Monte Hill. The pride of the Excelsior, Joe Butcher Boy Shasky. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, the morning roast.
Oh, baby. 50 Cent Friday here on the roast. Got Alan Style Files in for Joe Shasky the Butcher. He'll be back on Monday, but you better believe he's listening right now. Shasky, how you doing this morning? Hope you're doing well. See you Sunday at the Dolphins-Niners game. Jerry Rice, Monday, 8:30. Woo! We're releasing new gear at 3 o'clock. You can find it out on 95.7 The Game. Find out about it at 95.7 The Game. El Sleepy Floyd. Shout out to El Sleepy Floyd, who designed some great T-shirts for us. So that'll be released at 3 o'clock, 95.7thegameshop.com, 95.7thegameshop.com. Talk some Warriors. We'll get back into Warriors at some point. Warriors-Bulls tonight at Chase Center. Big 3-game homestand for them. Mm-hmm. Then we got a big one at Levi's. Oh, we're still on not Allen, but Aaron Judge watch. Whether or not he signs today.
It's not ending. It's not ending. It should be heating up, actually.
It should be done by the end of the week, right? According to Bubba, a.k.a. JP Morosi. But let's go down to Miami. Host of the Joe Rose Show on WQAM in Miami. It is Joe Rose himself, former tight end with the Miami Dolphins. But I didn't know, Joe, that you had caught the game-winning pass in the 79 big game to help the Cal Bears beat Stanford. How about that?
Man, that was a long time ago. But, yeah, I was I'm immature now, but I was really bad back then. But, yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Listen, the Cal-Stanford game, nobody back here talks about it, but it was fun.
Your Bears,
that was a good time.
Yeah, the Bears won the Axe this year. It was a saving grace to a rough season. Our producer, Sam Love, is a big Cal guy. He's going to Cal-UCLA games the day after Thanksgiving in front of 50 people. I mean, a guy needs some hope here. But he's also a Miami Hurricane fan, so he's sad as well. So forget my producer anyway. The Dolphins, they have been sad in recent memory. However, Mike McDaniel gets hired. You replace him with replace Brian Flores with Mike McDaniel. You still stick with Tua. You make the big move to get Tyreek Hill, and next thing you know, you guys are 8-3. So this Dolphins team has taken everybody by storm. What was your expectations coming into the season with the new head coach, with Tua Tagovailoa at quarterback, and this Dolphins roster?
So Mike McDaniel had one interview, as you guys probably know. So we didn't know much about him. We knew he's a offensive coordinator for the 49ers, but we know he didn't call the plays. Shanahan calls the plays. But we really didn't know. We got this guy. We all meet him. You know, everybody shows up for that first press conference, and who's going to run this team and what's the plan here? And only interview we had for a head coaching job was the Miami Dolphins, and they have absolutely hit a jackpot. You talk about a guy prepared, has given Coach Shanahan a lot of credit and his father for what he's been able to do, but the story has just been unbelievable. The rehabilitation of Tua Tagovailoa, who's been beaten up, lack of confidence, coaching staff, maybe a front office that no longer believed in him. And Mike came in, took a look, watched everything, said, hey, we're going to get more around you, and we're going to put in a system that you're absolutely going to love, that's going to work for you, and absolutely get the best out of you since you've been at Alabama. And he did. They go out, as you mentioned, the Tyreek Hill trade that took place was fantastic. That guy has been everything and more. Has been durable, makes big plays. And then the other thing I got to tell you, man, we call it the San Francisco Truth. Bringing in 4 guys from his own team, including the Wilson trade and Raheem Mostert coming here. So we had 2 guys that knew how to run that running game that the 49ers run that he really likes, the widespread. And then on top of it, Sherfield has turned into a sure thing at third wide receiver, has been great. And then Craycraft, who is a practice squad guy with the 49ers, has also turned into a really solid, tough, little hard-nosed receiver coming off a game of 4 or 5 catches. So he just got the guys he wanted, knew what he wanted, rehabbed a couple of guys that he thought could play, got their confidence back, and here we are at 8-3, one of the best offenses in the football, and now get ready for 3 really tough road games. Mm-hmm. It's not just San Francisco. We're going from San Francisco down to L.A., play the Chargers, and then we get to come back and play the Buffalo Bills. So it's going to be a tough little stretch of football coming up against a really good 49er team, a team that Mike McDaniel knows really well. So I think we're all looking forward to getting the big test, and you go from the Texans to the 49ers, you're going up the elevator a little bit there.
Joe, just like you said, everything with Mike McDaniel, when he comes in and the culture has just been changed immediately. And it's funny because in these situations, specifically in the NFL, I mean, expectations can flip immediately. So what are the expectations down in Miami? What looks like what would be a successful season? Is it just making it to the playoffs? Are you, if you get through this stretch 2-1, is it time to think about Super Bowl? What do you think expectations are for a successful season?
Well, you're sounding like a morning show in South Florida right there. It's a great one. I don't know if you guys know this, but how you doing? We're one of the we're second in the NFL since the longest streak of not winning a playoff game. Only the Lions are worse, to give you an idea how long it's been.
Has it been that long? When's the last time? When's the last time you guys won? I'm trying to think back.
It's been 21 or 22 years since the Miami Dolphins have won a playoff game. Just to give you an idea how bad. Because most people are going, like you guys, going, wow, it's been that long. So we haven't had a playoff win. So for me, it would be to win a playoff game. And listen, the Bills are playing great again. Everybody was worried about the Bills, and they were done. And Josh Allen, now they've won 3 in a row. That's going to be a tough one to overtake. We got to go up there and play them in a couple of weeks. So for me, get in the playoffs and win a playoff football game would be a great start. Until I see that, listen, we haven't played in a Super Bowl since I played in Super Bowl 19 against the 49ers with Montana and Marino. So I know, you don't just say, hey, we're going to the Super Bowl. And I try to calm some of the fan base down a little bit. Like, look, that's a big jump from never making the playoffs and never win a playoff game to all of a sudden you're going to win a Super Bowl. That's not going to be easy.
Joe Rose. Of course, you can listen to the Joe Rose Show on 560 WQAM
a.m. on Odyssey app, former member of the Miami Dolphins, former Cal Bear, now calling games for the Miami Dolphins, color analyst for the Dolphins as they come out here to the West Coast. And as you mentioned, Joe, 3 straight road games. We're looking at the schedule earlier today, saying, boy, Miami's got some tough stretches here. But when you look at the quarterback, you look at Tyreek Hill, what about that defense? Because nobody's talking about that matchup. Shanahan against that Dolphins defense. Jimmy Garoppolo's a full go. Christian McCaffrey's going to play. You have Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle. Who should we be focused on that Miami Dolphins defense who could wreck a game?
Well, I will tell you one thing. I'm guessing Mike McDaniel has spent a lot of time in that defensive with Coach Boyer, the defensive coordinator, going over things because nobody knows the 49ers offense better than Mike McDaniel. But it hasn't been as good, to be honest. Last year we had a great run where we really played lights out. And this year they're in the middle of the pack and talking to some of the guys. The biggest thing is we just aren't getting the amount of takeaways that we were able to get last year. Guys would move the ball, but we get takeaways. You get interceptions. And so it's been disappointing. We've got a lot of guys with great names. You look across and you go, wow, that guy's a good player. We got some guys individually that have played well, but the numbers just haven't been there. The sacks number hasn't been there. The takeaways for the defense hasn't been there. So, I mean, Xavier Howard doesn't have an interception. The guy's been an interception machine at the cover corner position.
Wow.
So our numbers are way down. I think that's been the biggest disappointment. But all the names are there. The Jalen Phillips is there. The Bradley Chubb that was made from the Denver Broncos on the trade deadline right before it was over. You got Javon Holland, who's just been an outstanding safety, a big, strong guy, can really run. We just got to get more because you'll look at their stats and go, I don't see it. But a lot of those guys had really good seasons, and if we're going to have a chance in this thing, listen, I'm not sure about blocking Nick Bosa, to be really honest, especially if we have to play a backup tackle.
Yeah.
I've seen him since he was about 14 years old play at the highest level at one of the best high schools in the country. Mm-hmm. That's a tough one. He is something else, man. He is special, and he can destroy games, and I know that's been a priority to see where that's where we're going to be on that one. But we got to get some guys playing like that. We got to get some guys that can dominate games one-on-one, and the 49ers have a couple of those guys, including a guy in the middle playing linebacker. And that's the difference. Really, when I look at it, the impact guys that the 49ers have had that play like the best players at their position, and we got to get some guys playing like that down the stretch here.
Joe, I know you're familiar with the Bay Area. We got a guy who's under center for us in Jimmy G, who's quite polarizing. You got to be on one side of the fence or the other in terms of whether, you think that guy can get it done or not. Tua is another quarterback who, he was beaten down early. People didn't know if he could make it in this league. Do you think at this point Tua is still a bit underrated to the outside view, or do you think he's starting to get the respect he deserves? And could this game maybe help to get more of that respect?
Well, So it's a great question, by the way, and I think Tua and Jimmy Garoppolo really aren't the same thing. Everybody kind of gave up on Jimmy Garoppolo, put him on the other field to work out on his own until everybody needed him, and all he does is come back and throw 16 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, and the team loves him. It looks to me like the players love playing with Jimmy. They want to go out and play with Jimmy G. So I'm seeing that from Tua, the big turnaround with the players. Started kind of with Tyreek Hill going, man, you guys got to stop this dude. This dude puts it right on the money, man. It's a nice pass to catch. And so we started seeing more and more of that. Now I see it in the hotel, man. It is his team. Guys like hanging with him. Guys want to be around him. So I think he's really starting to win over this team. Yeah, he's got to play. Listen, he's playing against the number one defense. Anybody can beat the Texans up. I know I've already heard this.
Right.
Anybody can beat the Texans up or the Cleveland Browns up. Now you're playing the 49ers, and it's going to be loud, by the way, because San Francisco 49ers fans get after it pretty good. So it's a different step up, but these are the games. If we're really going to be a playoff team, these next 3 weeks we got to play like it. or that 5-game winning streak. It's great, and it set us up to make the playoffs. But now we're going to play a lot of the big boys here, and we'll find out just how good we are, starting with the San Francisco 49ers. And as you mentioned, that schedule, the rest of the way is not an easy one.
No doubt about that, Joe. We got to run in just a second here, but quickly, how bad does McDaniel, Mostert, Wilson Jr. want this game? Trent Sherfield, River Craycraft, how bad do they want this one? Because there's been some chirping.
Yeah. Raheem, Raheem Mostert's one of the nicest human beings. You know, here's the guy. We get your two running backs, and listen, they've both been really good. You know, I mean, these guys have been really, really good, and they're looking around at the speed on the outside of, and this thing starts with Waddle and Tyreek Hill on the outside. It sounds like a track meet when it sounds like you look at these two, but they are the total package of what everybody says they are. And so I think sometimes everybody goes, yeah, look at what I got on the outside. Let's go play right now. I got Tyreek on one side and Jalen Waddle on the other. Let's go play. We can play against you. And so, yeah, there's a lot of confidence. And I know, Raheem, I'm sure you guys got the comments. Raheem,
oh, yeah.
Everybody thought he was taking shots at Jimmy G. And he's like, no, I like Jimmy G, man. But our team's really good. And I'm just excited. But, hey, I can't wait to see everybody. And I'm like, oh, we don't need anybody any more fired up with the 49ers, man, for this game, for sure.
Hey, Joe, thanks for the time. Safe travels to the Bay Area. I know it's a big 3-game stretch for you guys. It all starts Sunday in a highly anticipated matchup. 49er fans are jacked up for this one. Dolphins, Niners, Levi Stadium. This is going to be a fun one. Joe, thanks for the time today.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. Joe Rose of the Joe Rose Show on WQAM in Miami. You can listen to that on the Odyssey app. 560 WQAM on the Odyssey app. Joe Rose, former tight end of the Dolphins, color games for them. Big time matchup, and he discussed their defense. We'll get to that in just a second. But the last part there, the Mostert chirping, the Wilson Jr., hey, trade me because I'm not going to play much. That'd be nice to have Jeff Wilson Jr. back in red and gold with the news of Elijah Mitchell. But let's start with Mostert because I think people forget he held out after that big year, that big playoff run when he ran for over 200 yards against the Green Bay Packers. Held out, got some money, got hurt. Did he rehab back? Some people were saying, man, he could have fought back during the pandemic season and played, whatever. Comes back, second carry, tears his ACL. First game of the season against Detroit. So for some Niner fans that I've talked to this week, Mostert left a sour taste in their mouth. And then the article comes out by Tyler Dude, and Mostert's chirping about who's slinging it. We got a lot of talent here. He could walk back the comments, but you mentioned this earlier. Fred Warner Jr., Drake Guerrillo, they didn't forget the comments.
No.
Nick Bosa didn't forget the comments. They're going to try to decapitate this dude Sunday at Levi Stadium.
They're going to be running with a purpose, we'll say. Definitely a purpose. And the thing is, and by the way, Jeff Wilson Jr., he kind of got dragged into this as well. From what I saw, he didn't really say anything, but everything is Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. taking shots, and Jeff Wilson Jr. is looking like CP3 last night. Like I'm just hanging out, dude. I'm not even trying to really be in this drama. But I think when it comes to Raheem Mostert, right? It was a good, and people can say, you'd be nothing without us. We gave you a chance, this, that, the third. Well, Raheem Mostert also balled out when he did play. So I think, look, this is a business. I think for the most part, it was a good business relationship. For the most part, I think it was a good business transaction. He got his shot in the NFL. The Niners got some success from him. Right. And you move forward. If you feel some type of way, and that's the thing. When he's sitting there saying, oh, do you think that the fact that you held out when they thought you could come back, do you think that affected you, how they felt about you as a free agent? Right. And he said, oh, for sure. Well, I'm sorry, Raheem. It's a business, and you were a free agent. They owe nothing to you. They already took a chance on you. Right. They owe nothing to you to take a chance on you again and say, all right, even though you've been injured, let's bring you back in. I'm sorry, man. You know how running backs are. You found a new spot. Keep it pushing. Let's see what you do on Sunday. But this whole idea that you're a free agent. Right. What are we even talking about?
You're spot on. And you held out on them. You had your agent tweeting at the Niners saying, yeah, we're not playing yet until we get some new deals. We need a fair deal. Like, wait a minute here.
You were a special teamer.
Yeah.
You were on 6 different teams before you came here. You were a journeyman. And that's not to knock Raheem Mostert because he is a good dude. But it was unnecessary. And then to walk it back and all that stuff, I'm sure he didn't mean what he said, but you got to be smarter than that. And don't blame a reporter for saying, oh, he took my quotes out of context. He didn't put everything in there. You know what time it is.
This is not your first interview.
Yeah, no,
you know
exactly.
You know they're going to chop and screw it and do what they need to do.
We're going to highlight the juicy stuff.
Exactly. You said it.
We're trying to sell papers out here.
As long as you're not saying that they made something up, you put yourself in the position for them to say, well, look, he dropped this. And he goes, and he tweeted, he said, but of course you don't include when I, when I applaud my old team and Jimmy Garoppolo. Of course not.
Right.
You know what business this is? Why do I have to do that?
Right.
I'm going to talk about what everybody is, what's going to get me clicks, and you provided that for me. Right. Nobody owes you anything in this world.
Nobody. So he's going to get his on Sunday. We'll get to him in just a second, but I want to let everybody know. Everybody's got their go-to meal at their favorite restaurant, so it's time we head back into their kitchen for episode 3, The Go-To, presented by Trimarks. Joe Shasky with this video. Check out the Rome Artisan Burgers at 957thegame.com. DeMeco Ryans, he was talking yesterday at the podium, and we talked about Tua, and he talked about Tyreek Hill. He discussed a lesson they learned after giving up 44 points to the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's DeMeco Ryans.
Each week is different. If we had a bad week, it happens in the NFL, right? It happens. You have bad weeks, and that's what I look at the Chiefs game was. It was a bad week, and we did not play up to our standard. So it's about our guys, holding up our standard each and every week. And if we do that, right, if we make it tough on offenses to go against us because we're just doing what we're supposed to do. Not anybody playing hero ball or doing anything special. It's just guys just being where they're supposed to be, playing together, playing for each other. When we do that, we're a special unit.
So they did, and they had some guys out in that game. This one, I think, look, is Tua Patrick Mahomes? No, he's not. He's just not. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. Mm-hmm. The weapons they have, though, they rival the Kansas City Chiefs because we talk about Waddle and Sherfield and Tyreek Hill. They also have a tight end in Mike Gesicki. He can make plays, and he has speed. He's out there gritty and doing the Waddle dance and all that stuff.
Gritty, but he's doing it just the same.
It's better than mine. Look, Raheem Mostert has speed. He gets to the outside, he's gone. That's one thing he does have, his speed, and he'll run physical. I'm eager to see how the Niners adjust to this offense on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because Mike McDaniel knows him. He's going to manipulate the defense with all type of motions and different formations and spacings. I'm very eager to see because until the conversation earlier today or earlier this week was Michael Irvin out with Damian Arado talking about this is one of the greatest defenses I've seen. Whoa. Got to play somebody first. You got to beat them up. Let's see if you're a great defense because I don't even know if this defense is a top 5 Niners defense of all time. But a game like this, you can make a name for yourself, Alan.
There are a lot of opportunities out there for both sides of the ball. Both sides of the ball, as in both offenses, both defenses. Look, I know you got your apology out to Jimmy G. I'm going to tell you right now, Bonte, he's going to have to spin that thing. He's going to have to spin it. I do not think they've been stacked. All these teams have been stacking the box on the Niners. We know that that's what they like to do. We know that everybody knows the Niners want to run the football. So if the Dolphins do stack the box again, what happened against the Saints was that, all right, we're stacking the box. The problem was the Saints couldn't score. They couldn't do anything. And I know that a lot of that is because of the Niners defense. That's also because the Red Rifle, it's Andy Dalton.
Right, it's Andy Dalton.
And to be honest, the Saints had a lot of opportunities. They couldn't catch the football. I don't know if they ate a bucket of popcorn before the game or what it was.
Well, Kamara got hit, and he was like, yeah, this is not going to be one of those games for me.
No.
He was like, it's too physical out there for me. And he's dropping the ball left and right.
Yeah.
Olave was like, Olave's a good player, and I thought that was a catch at the end of the first half. Officials overturned it. Niners challenge. It was successful. But they didn't want that smoke. Andy Dalton didn't really want that smoke.
No, but they did have opportunities. So I think that, look, I know the Niners have this stretch going of these teams not scoring, at the end of the game, 4 straight second halves. That's probably going to end, right? It's probably going to end. Now, how do you react? And I think against the Saints, Kyle was able to say, all right, I'm not going to show everybody everything because these guys can't score. Right. And against the Cardinals, I mean, that was a party. That was a fiesta in Mexico. That was not. So we don't. It's like Slim Shady. Will the real Niners offense please stand up? That's what we need to see.
And I think that was it in Mexico City, to your point.
I do think it was that. It might not be 38 points every game, but you got to spread the football around. You can't just go 2 runs and Jimmy bail me out, right? So you can't continue to do that. And if the Dolphins are able to put points on the board, it's almost in a weird way, and obviously I want the Niners to win, but in a weird way, I want to see the Dolphins score just to see what I want the genius cow to come out.
Oh yeah,
you know.
You want to see them get in the shootout and see what Shanahan does.
I want to see the 2 offensive gurus.
You want to see if Shanahan and Garoppolo can hang with the big boys offensively.
I want to see if Vontae's apology was necessary. That's what I want to see.
Oh boy. Either way, your boy's going to be walking some things back. Jimmy wins the Super Bowl, your boy's getting cooked. He don't win, your boy's getting cooked. It's a no-win situation. Let's go to Rob and San Bruno real quick before we get to Laura Britt. Rob, what's happening?
What's going on, fellas? Look, man, I'm not putting this game on the defense. The defense over the last 5 years has showed us what they can do. This is on Jimmy Garoppolo and Kyle Shanahan. You can't let the understudy dude come in here and dominate you, period. I'm going to need Jimmy Garoppolo to go out there and complete some passes. You can't hide behind his defense no more. It's time to put your big boy pants on and do what you need to do. Yep. I'm not apologizing to Jimmy G until after the season. If you make the playoffs and we see we do in the postseason, I'm not apologizing. I still stand on what I stand on. Trey should be the starter if he don't get hurt. But right now, Jimmy needs to play. You can't hide throwing 3-yard screens. And y'all talked about the red rifle. If you look at the game, I thought he played better than Jimmy Garoppolo did. It wasn't his fault. Olave didn't catch the ball, and Kamara fumbled
twice
in scoring territory. So it's like Jimmy Garoppolo and Kyle, this is your chance to show us what y'all about, because they're joint at the hip, and we need them to step it up. I can't have the understudy going to a team that ain't been to the playoffs in 30 years, putting up 30 points a game, and we struggling to put up 13. So it's time.
It's time. I like that call, Rob. I like that call. It's time. Rob got me ready to go. I'm ready for this game. We got Bulls Warriors today. We got Rockets Warriors tomorrow, and then you get Niners Dolphins on Sunday.
You can't let. That's a good point, man. You can't have little bro come in here and punk you.
Mike McDaniel, you got to put him in his place.
Right.
How bad does Shanahan want this game?
Bad.
You think he wants it bad?
He won't say it.
He wants it bad, huh?
Oh yeah, you can't have little. Come on now, The Apprentice. You can't have him come up here with guys that you said we don't need anymore. And you run on them? Come on now.
I can't have Mostert and Waddle doing the Waddle dance at the end of the fourth
Twitter
quarter.
is going to break because, you can't have the peace sign.
I'll be listening to you. You'll be breaking on overtime.
You can't have Tyreek. You can't throwing up the peace sign. Not in your house.
No, you can't have that happen. All right, we'll get to Laura Britt, 888-957-9570. I want to get some more calls here. Last keys, your final keys to the game. It is a football Friday, 50-cent Friday. Keys to the Niners winning. Do you want to see Shanahan and Garoppolo air this baby out? You want to see him send a message? Shasky, and I kind of agree with Shasky. It's not the worst thing in the world to lose this game, but damn it, I know Monday morning I want to be talking about a victory. So what can the Niners do to get this win against Miami, against this high-flying, explosive offense? It's going to be a lot of fun. 888-957-9570. But first, let's get to Laura Britt, host of Giants pre- and post-game live, former host of 49ers pre- and post-game live. She does everything. Sharks, Warriors, Giants, Niners.
Not 6, not 7.
Yeah, she's got all kind of jobs. She's going to join us here in a few minutes to talk about the Giants and the pursuit of Aaron Judge. The pursuit for Aaron Judge. Can you get him out of pinstripes? That's coming up. Brought to you by Fremont Bank. Full service banking. No compromises.
Every week, Damon and Retto go inside the 49ers locker room. Azeez Al-Shire.
You know, when you're around a group of guys that are held to such a high standard that you have no choice but to get better, or you're just going to get weeded out.
Hear a different 49er each week on Damon and Retto. Bang, bang, Niner gang! Brought to you by Harris Ranch Beef. Visit your local Chavez supermarkets for all your beef and tailgate needs.
Attention passengers, this is your pilot speaking. Looks like we're gonna have to land immediately. And hurry to the Xfinity Black Friday sale. Folks, we've got clear skies and lots of binge watching ahead. Stream your heart out when you get the ultimate streamer setup. We'll be cruising in so new Xfinity customers can get 400 megabit internet with unlimited data and Xfi Complete for just $55 a month for 2 years with no annual contract. And a free 4K streaming box included. Plus, for a limited time, get HBO Max included for 1 year. So, sit back and relax with internet made for streaming and access to classic favorites. Flight attendants, prepare for binge watching.
Drop everything and get to the Xfinity Black Friday sale, now through December 5th.
Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Ad-supported plan of HBO Max. After promo, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today. 1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum 2022 tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2022.
'Twas almost the holidays, and all over the state, not a creature was stirring, except for, well, Nate. He was panicked, in need of a really good gift. Nate's a procrastinator, if you catch my drift. So off he dashed to the closest store, and there found holiday scratchers galore. Now Nate won't get a lump of coal, unless he burns the holiday casserole. Yes, scratchers from the California Lottery are great, especially for Mr. Procrastinate. So when it's time to get your gift shopping out of the way, try scratchers. A little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase player claim.
Universal Studios Hollywood is where the holidays come together. We've tested it. Festive food with refreshing Coca-Cola. Family, friends, and fa-la-la. Dazzling lights cranked up to maximum merriment. The Grinch and his dog Max stealing your tree. All the science adds up. It's the awesomest celebration of the season. Save $20 on a Coca-Cola 2-day general admission ticket. Offer ends 12/14/22. Restrictions apply. Details at universalstudioshollywood.com/Coke offer.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
Hey everybody, it's Boomer Esiason here. When a part of your offense isn't firing on all cylinders, it shows. And sometimes the only solution is to replace that part with something new. It's true on a championship team, and it's also true with cars. That's why I love eBay Motors. They have all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, by the way. And that way you can get the parts that you need to make your car a winner. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In Fremont, a cold start followed by a cool day, highs near 54.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Staples stores are a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. Explore more at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com.
Folks, this is your pilot. We have to land immediately. And hurry to the Xfinity Black Friday sale. New Xfinity customers can get 400 megabit internet with unlimited data and Xfi Complete for $55 a month for 2 years with no annual contract. And a free 4K streaming box included. Plus, now through December 5th, get HBO Max included for a year.
Drop everything and get to the Xfinity Black Friday sale. Go to Xfinity.com to learn more. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Ad-supported plan of HBO Max. After promo, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
It's your boy Guru from Steiny and Guru, noon to 3, right here on 95.7 The Game. Now back to the Morning Roast, my favorite show. Just leave me alone, please.
Man, the show is flying by. Don't forget about the 415ers podcast. Evan Giddings and Mark Grandy breaking down Niners and Dolphins. Whew, it's going to be a big one. We can ask Laura about the Niners and Dolphins, too. She's tapped in still. She's tapped in. Follow the 415ers on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. Shout out to YouTube, Twitch, Xfinity Mobile text line. All the high schools teams getting ready for the state championships. Basketball season's in play. Girls basketball's in play. Ritter's girls basketball team had a tough loss the other day, but they're playing well. Look, it's a fun time. The holidays. Not the biggest fan of the holidays, but you got a lot of sports on the calendar. Bowl games, Alan. I know you're a big college football fan, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say big, but I watch. I have those teams that I randomly like for no reason that I have no connection to. I mean, Temple, we're a stepping stone.
Yeah.
As soon as we get good, the coach
right?
leaves.
Yeah,
so,
Al Golden.
Matt Rule, though, right?
Matt
you know
Rule,
what? Don't get
Al
me started.
Golden, Bruce Arians.
Goodbye.
Who's your random team? Because I root for Florida State.
And just no connection.
I've never been. I've been to the state of Florida once, but I love Florida State.
Well, you know what? Our boss is probably listening, but Ohio State, they always got black QBs. So I'm just saying, Clemson, Ohio State.
Florida State has some black brothers. They have some brothers playing quarterback, too.
They do.
No doubt. I've always rocked with Michigan, though, because the gear.
I don't mind Michigan at all, but you know.
Ohio State with the black brothers.
They always got
I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. All right, we got Laura Britt on hold here. You got what we got queued up, Spadoni? All right, before we bring in Laura Britt, her husband joined the show Monday to wish Joe Shasky a happy birthday. Walker, a.k.a. Mr. Britt, dropped some bars, Alan, and I want you to listen to it, and I want Laura, who's on the line holding, to listen to it as well. Here's Walker spitting some ones and twos on Shasky's birthday.
Waiting for it to drop. Like sourdough, he's Francisco grown. It's a Joe Shasky appreciation flow. But your boy so funny, jokes hit just right. Producers cutting that up for a sound bite. Early in the morning, when traffic is slim, catch Bonte and Butcher at 6 a.m. Number one, who's that? We are never second place like KMBR. Monte tripping like Jordan Poole on his arm sleeve. Monte Ellis out here shouting, "We believe!" On the rise like yeast and flour. Joe Shasky's making moves while you're taking your shower. Insight thick like Bay Area fog. I hear the Golden Boy's voice while I'm taking my jog.
Oh, my God. Laura. That was some of the best. Duke and SF is jealous right now. Shout out to Duke and SF, who has bars as well. He drops bars every single week on the roast. He may be jealous of Mr. Britt, Laura. Good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. So first off, how am I ever supposed to follow that up? I've lost that battle already. But second off, I will say next time, for anybody that wants to come on 95.7, the morning roast, and rap, play the beats at home. We couldn't hear it, so that's like a little off. So the beat was not playing for us, but it was only playing for you guys. Anyway, it was so great. It was great to be on. You lined up a ton of guests for Shasky's birthday, and that was really fun. So anyway, that was amazing. I can't ever rap like that, and now what am I supposed to do? Talk about Aaron Judge?
Yeah, you're the host of Giants pre- and post-game live, and I got Alan Stiles beside me. Shasky's off. Alan played baseball, De La Salle, Temple. This guy's been flexing all day. Steve Kerr, country clubs. His mom is in the film on HBO Max. I mean, you name it. I should have taken a day off if he was going to flex on me like that, Laura. So what the hell is going on with Aaron Judge? 50-50? There's got to be more than two teams in on Aaron Judge.
Oh, there are definitely more than two teams in on Aaron Judge. It just depends on how realistic those teams are. The Dodgers are obviously in. Other teams are in on Aaron Judge, but yeah, John Morosi of MLB Network is saying it's more of a 50-50 shot, which I was actually a little surprised to see because I was thinking, I mean, he straight up says it's not like 70-30. It is more like 50-50. And the Giants are going to have to put up more money than what the Yankees have already put up, which is a reported, $37.5 million a year. 8 years, $300 million is the reported amount that the Yankees have put up for Aaron Judge. I think the Giants, they know the situation they're in. They know they need a big-name player. Does Carlos Correa move the needle for you? Is that a player that's going to move the needle? I just don't think so. Is that a player that's going to have people going out to the team store buying jerseys tomorrow? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you are I guess, a more hardcore baseball person, it would. But and I think Carlos Correa is a good player. But in terms of, getting people to the ballpark and, let's go see who do you have this year, Carlos Correa, he's not necessarily that guy. But to that point, Laura, do you think the Giants can have what you would call a successful offseason if they don't land Aaron Judge?
It depends on who you're talking to. If you're talking to Giants fans, I would say anybody outside of Aaron Judge, which, it's one player, right? He's the golden boy right now. I think anybody outside of that is not going to move the needle for diehard Giants fans. So that's kind of a hard standard to live up to if you're the Giants. You can put together a good team outside of Aaron Judge, but I think for fans, what they saw from Judge last season, knowing that he's a local guy, it all plays so well into what the Giants need. They need a superstar, check. They need a guy that's actually going to produce, that's not just a name, check. They want, local guy, homegrown, check. He checks so many boxes that I imagine it's probably difficult to find anybody else that's going to get the Giants fan base as excited as Aaron Judge. The problem comes in with the Giants have a lot of money, and Farhan has said that they're willing to spend, that this team is not putting a bunch of restrictions on what they're able to spend. They're going to be smart about it. Obviously, Farhan is known to have that type of a track record. They're not going to spend just to spend to make fans happy. They're going to spend in smart deals, and that's been their MO, since he took over. But what will it take to get Aaron Judge? And then, as he has said, he doesn't want to go to a team that's not going to win. The Giants need more than just Aaron Judge. You've got to have, if Rodon walks and goes to another team, who are you going to fill those shoes? That's right. Pretty big shoes to fill. Mm-hmm. Not saying that you can't find another. They signed Rodon last year, so they're able to find that talent. They did it with Kevin Gausman. You can find the talent, but Judge has made it very clear that he wants to be on a winning team. So he's got to have pieces that are built around him. But he also said, to the point of, I'll be down in San Diego for winter meetings coming up this Sunday. Most reporters believe that Judge will get this deal done across those few days down in San Diego. So this is going to be a get the contract out of the way situation, is what Aaron Judge said. I want my contract done so then the team, whomever he does sign with, can then build around me. I don't want fans to get too excited. I don't want, roasters. I want to be honest with everybody. I think it's actually very realistic for Aaron Judge to come to the Giants. They have the money. It really comes down to what he wants, I think. Right. Does he like being in New York? There is something to a hometown pull. I know there is for me. And I think probably most people listening, being close to your family. What if you want to start a family and you want their grandparents nearby? I know that sounds kind of...
No, that matters. That matters.
But it does. It totally does. This is not flying to Las Vegas. This would be flying from coast to coast. It's a long flight, and I don't know the age of his parents, but, you have to play all those factors in. That's a long flight. I don't care if you're flying private or commercial. It's still a long trek to get out to New York. So how much does that play a factor in? I don't know Aaron Judge. So I don't know, how important those things rank compared to dollars. Dollars are obviously way up there. But if the Giants can get close, does the hometown pull do it for him?
Yeah. Laura Britt here on the Morning Rush on 95.7 The Game. Host of Giants pre- and post-game live on NBC Sports Bay Area. All right, Laura, real quick before we switch gears to the Niners. What would your pitch have been to Aaron Judge? Because I thought maybe it's not too late. Maybe he's sitting courtside tonight at Chase Center. But I would have had him at Chase Center. I would have had E40 in there. I would have had Pilo. I would have had Rennell. I would have had Will Clark. I would have put out all the stops. What would your pitch have been for Aaron Judge to come to the Bay Area? Come back to the Bay Area, I should say.
My pitch. So here's the thing. Maybe they tried to do all those things. Maybe Aaron Judge wasn't available to go to a Warriors game. I'm not sure. I don't know how all that went down. I imagine that those things were all on the table. I am sending Aaron Judge to dinner with Steph Curry, with E40, with Mr. Fab, and I'm having a dinner with no one from the Giants, like the front. I just want him to see what Bay Area with Draymond Green. Go have fun. Go have a night and just have dinner with some of the Bay Area's finest athletes and get the real talk, the real discussion. Where are you going to live? What does it look like? What does the commute look like? I want those conversations being had. But I am so interested. Don't you want to know what these conversations are like? I'm so interested in what does it look like? Are they sitting around at a dinner table? Or are you walking around Oracle Park? Like, how does it go?
You should have had Shasky, myself, and Alan Stiles now, since he's got movie talent. He's got movie stars in his family. We should have been out there. I knew the hotel he was at. I wanted to get the yellow tape out and just go upstairs and Eric, come on, man. Let's go.
I can't leave George Kittle out either.
Can't leave Kittle out. Yeah. Appearances on the morning roast. I mean, that would have been a hell of a pitch.
Get on the morning roast. You can go on the morning roast.
You can rap.
Talk to George.
You can rap.
You can rap.
Yeah, no doubt.
Don't match the music. Whatever you want. I don't know. I'm so fascinated, and I really want to hear once all this passes, whether he signs or not, what those conversations are like. I'm so interested in how you do pitch a player, because that is a big part of it. And I think Gabe Kapler being there and talking to what is their relationship like. Those are things that he's weighing in these decisions. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to money, and then how much does the hometown pool help for bringing Aaron Judge?
I did hear, by the way, before we switch over to Niners, I heard that they did try to arrange something with Judge and Steph Curry, and Steph was in New Orleans when they played the Pelicans, and it was actually the game that nobody played, and they were texting, but it ended up not working out. So I don't know who dropped the ball there, but you should have made that happen. If it was the Giants or the Warriors, you should have made that happen. Maybe next time I talk to Steve Kerr, I'll make sure something happens.
There's another drop.
There you go.
Wait, I've got one thing, because I was checking the chat on your YouTube channel. Somebody said Shasky's waiting for Judge at the airport.
He does. He probably did. He probably is. He's got the tracker. He's got the real estate agents looking out for him.
Oh, yeah.
We need Judge here for not only Joe Shasky, we need him for Sam Lubman, Laura. Sam Lubman has been walking around here depressed. Miami Hurricanes stink. The Cal Bears basketball team hasn't won a game yet. Their football team loses to UCLA in front of 100 people. Lubman needs Aaron Judge. If anybody needs Aaron Judge, it's Sam Lubman, Laura.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. I think a lot of people in the Bay Area, especially after last season, seeing a lot of people want Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do, Giants. Get him here.
Yeah, there's no way those are the only two teams. All right, Laura, switching over to the Niners. I mean, the most straightforward question we can just start this off with. We know what Tua and these Dolphins, that offense, brings to the table. What do you think the Niners are thinking in terms of their main goals and how they're going to contain this offense on Sunday?
Well, I think one of the big things that stands out to me right away is that the Dolphins are most likely going to be without their two starting offensive tackles. Both of those guys have missed their second straight day of practice on Thursday, Teron Armstead and Austin Jackson. So I think that plays a huge factor already into the 49ers, hand. It's also Mike McDaniel playing against Kyle Shanahan. Who has the upper hand there? The guy who mentored Mike McDaniel, or Mike McDaniel who was the mentee? I think that's always an interesting thing to think about. I think Kyle Shanahan's got the upper hand. He taught Mike McDaniel. Just as far as quarterback straight across goes, I think Tua, has the upper hand over Jimmy Garoppolo. But it's so much more than that. It's the number 2 passing offense in the NFL going up against the best defense in the NFL, overall defense. You're getting Eric Armstead back. There's a lot at play for the 49ers, a lot of momentum in their favor, and you might look back at the Dolphins and say, oh, well, they've put up 30 or more points in their past 4 games, but who were they playing? So I think the 49ers have the momentum in their favor right now. You've got this superstar-studded team offensively with, all these players. Like, where do you even begin to start to try to defend against the 49ers offense? Good luck with that to the Dolphins. And then with the Dolphins already down, put pressure on Tua. Put pressure. They're going to be doing that. And the 49ers defense has proven that they are the best of the best in the NFL. So I actually I think it's going to be a really good game. Anytime you have two meetings of the minds, we've seen that with Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. and especially with Mike McDaniel and Shanahan facing off for the first time, it's going to be an incredible game. The 49ers they're on a roll right now.
They are. Laura Britt, you're on the roll right now. When you back on Warriors coverage?
Saturday, but you're off, aren't you?
Yeah, Baby Chez's second birthday, Sunday. Second birthday for Baby Chez.
Happy birthday, little baby.
Yeah, second birthday. So we got to do some things Saturday. But Laura, you're the best. We'll see you Saturday on the screen covering the Warriors. You do some Sharks, Giants, Niners, everything. Hopefully by the time we talk again, by the time we speak again on the Morning Roast, Judge will be a Giant. Alan Styles will have his cameo on HBO Max. Shasky will be back panicking about God knows what. And all will be right in the world.
Alan, great to meet you, by the way, I guess on the radio, however that works. And then I have a pitch for the two of you. Why don't you cheer for UAB as your college team? We just got Trent Dilfer as our head coach. Just pull for the Blazers.
Sure, why not? Yeah, good to meet you too, radio-wise, Laura. Great to meet you.
Go UAB!
Go UAB.
The Kings of Alabama. Blazers. Go UAB, baby. What conference you guys in again? Conference USA?
Yeah.
Well, Laura and I, we're both two schools where you get good, and we'll see you when we see you.
Yeah, we'll see you when you see you.
Yeah.
Laura, have a good weekend.
Guys, great being on with you.
Anytime. Laura Britt, the one and only, the queen of the roast, Laura Britt, here on 95.7 The Game. A lot about the Giants, a lot about the Niners, Warriors, Kuminga. There's an article now in Enscape. Mark Spears had a sit-down with Draymond Green. Draymond Green. And one question Mark Spears posed to Draymond Green was, did you become less vocal after the altercation with Jordan Poole? And Draymond Green said, I wouldn't necessarily say it made me less vocal. No, it doesn't change me. You just have to evaluate things. You have to take a step back and evaluate the situation at hand. You can't be so quick to act. You got to be quick to watch and pay attention, evaluate what's going on. You can't be quick to speak. You have to be quick to figure out what the issues are. So for me, that's just what I'm doing. I'm not so quick to speak. I'm watching and figuring out what needs to be done and what needs to be said. Watch and figure it out. That is Draymond Green.
Wow. I mean, when he breaks these things down, that's why he's so good at what he does, man. I mean, you really get a look into his brain and how he operates. And right there is a great example of that. And I think we all knew. You could tell, even though in that first, press conference when he came back, he was kind of talking all big. I'm still going to be me. Okay, Draymond. But then when you got on the court, you could tell it was different. Yep. You just could. So
no doubt.
I think the further we get removed from this thing, the more we will see, the Draymond that this team honestly really needs.
And shame on a lot of us who thought, hey, man, can the Warriors actually win a championship without Draymond Green? Because we figured out in the first 22 games. The answer is no.
Hard no.
And now we got to start thinking about, this is for the offseason. This may come in the postseason. But with the player option at $27 million, Draymond can opt out.
Yeah.
And he can get himself a nice little deal off into the sunset.
He's not going anywhere.
I don't think so either. I think he's trying to retire.
But I will tell you this. I think, number one, offensively, Draymond looks like the Draymond we saw pre-KD.
Yeah.
We haven't seen this Draymond in years.
Great point. 2015, 16, 2014, 15. Last week I saw some numbers. The Warriors win 80% of their games when Draymond scores at least 10.
Yeah. It's been like that forever.
Dude, they win 76% of the games when he scores at least 8. So he had that season high. Sunday gets Minnesota 19 points. The other night he drops 12. Just being aggressive, finishing at the rim, taking open threes if you need to. That's the Draymond we all miss. And I think, KD comes, right? It's Clay, Steph, KD. Let them dudes shoot 20 times a game.
Every shot seems like a bad shot.
Right. You know what I'm saying? If it's not KD, Steph, or Clay shooting, why? What? Get the ball to KD, get the ball to Steph, get the ball to Clay. And I get it. And Draymond took a back seat to that. And I think that affected his game. And now he slowly but surely said, I have to be aggressive like I was in Game 6 against Boston.
Right.
I have to be aggressive like I was in Game 6 against the Memphis Grizzlies when I just let it fly. So seeing Draymond Green being aggressive, pushing the pace, pushing the break. I mean, Minnesota Sunday, Alan, I know you were watching the game. First three buckets were all ducks.
Yeah.
Draymond's pushing it.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's a welcome sight for the Golden State Warriors.
But I will say, to your point about he does have that opt-out, what he's doing now on that second unit, we've all, I don't know if we've all, but I mean, I've definitely been guilty of, well, I mean, he does play with two of the best shooters of all time in Klay and Steph Curry. Well, he did also play with Kevin Durant. Now with what Draymond is doing with this second unit, where he's not playing with Steph, where he's not playing with Klay, the best offensive weapon he has to work with is Jordan Poole, and he's making that team better. That bodes well for Draymond, for other teams looking at what Draymond could be. For as much as all the Draymond haters say, well, what would he be without these guys? Draymond is saying, look, what I'm able to do can translate to all these different teams. So to your point, Vontae, there might be some suitors out there.
There might be some suitors. The Portland Trailblazers have always wanted. I just saw this comment on YouTube. By the way, shout out to YouTube here on the 50 Cent Friday. YouTube did this. Blazers might be crazy enough to pay Draymond Green. I think they would.
They would.
I think they would. So Draymond Green plays some good basketball. Great quote there. Check out Mark Spears' latest work at Edscape. It's a lot of fun there. By the way, Luis Suarez. Have you been paying attention to the World Cup?
Lightweight. Enough.
So Korea just scored, and they took a 2-1 lead. And that means Uruguay is going to be eliminated from the World Cup. Spinoni, our World Cup correspondent. Joe Spinoni, everybody.
Yeah, live from not Qatar, back in the studio here. As it stands on goal differential, South Korea, who is leading Portugal right now, and they're about to blow the whistle, and they're going to win. They would finish runners-up to Portugal in that group and knock out Uruguay based on goals scored. So Korea's scored more goals than Uruguay.
Suarez is on the bench crying right now.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, look. U.S. plays on Saturday. If there was a year, it seems like there's some interesting stuff.
You waking up for that?
I actually have a Spartan race tomorrow.
That's another flex. That might be the flex moment of the show.
I have a Spartan race tomorrow. It's going to be freezing. It's at Oracle Park. It's at Oracle Park. It's going to be freezing. It might be raining. I did look up whether it could be canceled or not. They said it's a Spartan race. It will not be canceled. So I will be out there. 7:30 a.m. is when I'm running it. Pray for me. That's all I got.
We'll pray for you. You'll get through it.
It's going to be rough, man.
You'll get through it.
You know.
I'll pray for you on the couch watching USA Netherlands.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man. Man, it's 8:55 already. Show flew by. Good stuff, Alan, man. A lot of fun today. Thanks for filling in for Joe Shasky, man. A lot of fun, man. You're a good dude.